And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to another season, another edition here of LiuLi Cup 2025 Grand Finals Group A. I'm of course Showside VIP. With me, I'm joined by these amazing players and by the people in the chat as well. Welcome, one all. Welcome, bienvenidos to another one of our catch-up casts. This is of course going to be a replay cast of events that did happen a week ago or so. We're catching up on LiuLi Cup. For those that are unaware, and we've had questions like this before when it comes to events that say 2025 in their name, LiuLi Cup was a monthly tournament throughout the course of 2025. We would actually cover it ourselves on a regular basis, and throughout the course of the year, players did accumulate points. They did actually get seeding, and of course are now invited into the end of year LiuLi Cup Grand Finals. Let's go, Papa, let's go. Which takes place this year. This year here instead, once 2025 did conclude. Of course, post Rungi Cup and post Thunderfire as well. And here we go. Of course, the event is organized by Saber. Saber is LiuLi, and it is going to be a massive event with 4 groups of 4. We do have our initial group stage. First, we're going to be jumping into Group A, and speaking of the group, let's catch up on the group itself. Let's go. As we catch up, a big shout to Stan in the chat. Thank you so much for the gifted subs to the community, papi. I Stan. Thank you so much, gifting some 5 gifted subs to the community. Oh my god, papi. And also resubscribing yourself for 38 months. Thank you so much. Do appreciate it. Do appreciate the support. Hope you enjoy the content. Hope you all enjoy the StarCraft. Thank you, papi. Thank you. I Stan. As we have our initial group, again, it's going to be GSL groups. GSL groups here moving forward. We have a round of 16, and of course, day after day, we're going to be covering every group of LiuLi Cup, leading into the LiuLi Cup Grand Finals, leading into the playoffs. Group A is going to consist of Reynor, Creator, Maru, and Lambo. We got our 4 players here again, GSL format, and purely best of 3s. Pure best of 3s here moving forward. Just bear that in mind when it comes to the format of the event itself. Up first, we're going to be jumping into Reynor versus Creator in said ZVP. Let's go. Let us go. We're going to be jumping in. Vita Zidane in game 1 is going to be on Ruby Rock. Oh, vamos. Enjoy the content. I'm really here to catch light without pants. Oh, no. You won't catch me, Papa. You won't catch me. But here we go. We're jumping into our first matchup in our first series of the broadcast this morning. In the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the South Korean Protoss player. We have the red Protoss. It is a Creator. Representing No Age Jin Air, Kahapa. Best thing to do, the best moment, of course, I should say, after waking up this morning was the upcoming teams, the teams that have been constructed, the teams that are being formulated to compete in the new team league. Creator, of course, going to be joining his old teammates, for the most part, creating the X-Jin Air team. I appreciate it. The nostalgia, wholesome, baby, wholesome. But here we go. For now, though, we can focus on our ZVP. If you did miss what I'm referring to, I do recommend joining our Discord server. We did actually post some screenshots of the new teams as they are being constructed. For those who are unaware, there is a team league that was announced a couple of days ago, the Wardy TV team league, and players are, as a result, coming together and constructing said teams. Constructing the send teams, but for now we do have Hatchcast Pool standard opener here out of Reynor. Meanwhile, Creator going for his own gate expand. Everything's looking normal, everything's looking standard so far. Welcome to Ruby Rock. Aggression is heavily favored here, and we're expecting an all-in of some kind out of Reynor. The question becomes, how does Creator open? Now, Creator, he does have his own unique style here to PvZ. He does often do things his own way. When everyone's going Stargate, Oracle into a third base, into Pulsar and Blink, we have Creator instead going for an earlier Robo into earlier Immortal and Colossus production instead. That is how we've seen Creator adopt and try to approach this matchup as of late. We'll see if that trend continues. I'm expecting either hybrid defensive play or potentially even something like Glaive Adepts. But eyes are on Creator, especially earlier on. Otherwise, we are joining, we are saturating, building up. Speaking of tech, there it is, early Twilight Council. So Twilight Council first at a creator. I assume there's going to be at least a Stargate first, but no, straight a vanilla raw Twilight Council out of creator. With this, we can go into early Glaive Adepts, we can go into early Charge, early Bling. We have a couple of options available here. We are staying in gas, so this looks a little bit more tech heavy. I'm leaning currently towards a Dark Shrine, just because we're staying 3 and 3. Usually if it's Glaive Adepts, you pull out 1 worker from each gas geyser, leaving 2 and 2, leaving 4 probes mining in total, but here we have 6. Oh, Glaives. Glaive Adepts are going to be on the way. Now, because we're staying in gas, this could be a couple of different variations. Instead of going 3 gate, we could see 4 gate Glaive Adepts. You could see Glaive Adepts plus a Dark Shrine alongside it to go for both at once. Curious to see. The other option would have been to skip the Robo and to get a faster third base, but the Robo tells us that we're going to commit. So we'll keep it on the gateway count. So far we have 2 gateways at the natural. We're expecting more gateways in the main, and again, I'm still not ruling out the possibility of a Dark Shrine alongside this. For now though, Reynor is running, Reynor is saturating. We're getting up to 4 gateways. All right, sorry, that was gonna say 4 gates is standard. I think I said 3. 4 gates is standard, but we could go up to 6, but there it is, Dark Shrine. Again, the reason why we assumed it was gonna be Dark Shrine is because we did stay in gas, or at least, yeah, 3 and 3. So Dark Shrine is on the way. Of course, Reynor has yet to scout and yet to confirm completely. I say completely. With the Ling earlier, he did see the Robo, so he knows. Yeah, safe through Roach Warren. So this is a 3:55-ish Roach Warren timing. So well placed here, well timed from Reynor. Building up his roaches. The scary thing, though, based on what he's seen, is that I mean, it could be Dark Shrine. He does need spores soon. Without spores, damage will be done. This can get out of hand. Oh, commits to the shade. Oh no, he gets surrounded. Yeah, massive blunder here from a creator. He should not have committed. He gets surrounded, losing 2 adepts already. He may lose all 4. Oh, he does. Yeah, all 4 adepts go down. Oh, sorry, 1 gets saved just barely. We have spores on the way. We have the lair on the way as well. How many spores do we have? We have 1 at the natural, 1 in the main. And extra coming. The third base is exposed, so potentially the Dark Templar could kill the third. Spore just now starting. We'll see. As Reynor checking for the warp in. Does check. 4 Dark Templar. Spore is done in the bases. Still not finishing up here at the third base, but will be done just in time. Oh no, another surround, another brutal surround here. Adepts get completely locked down, and this is falling on his face. He does hit the natural. Very, very clutch pull there with the boys. Does pull the boys. A lot of drones going to be going down. That's going to be 6 drones falling, but he barely saves a spore, and with that, Reynor, he defends. This could have been so much worse, and now Creator has momentum. Sorry, I meant to say Reynor. Reynor has momentum. Reynor, he defends. Reynor has momentum. Creator, he's in danger back at home. Creator, his third base just now began, and it should be cancelled. Here comes Reynor to force a cancel. He is coming in. Thankfully, there are 2 Dark Templar to keep this alive, so they will deter the... never mind. That's coming back. You know, maybe they can defend and deter the Lings. No, there is detection. The Overseer has arrived. GG gets called, and Reynor's Lumos out of control. He takes game number 1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. That is the risk you take here when you commit as hard as you do into not just Glaives, but into Dark Templar as well. Unfortunately, Reynor scouted. Remember, Reynor, he was able to slip in with the Zergling. He saw the Robo. The Robo was a massive tell that it, of course, was not a Stargate opener. That something weird was going on. That prompted Reynor to get a faster Roach Warren. So a much faster Roach Warren. That was at 3:55, if I recall correctly. Just under 4 minutes. And likewise, he also was able to get his spores up and running just in time as well. We had a really clutch reaction. Pulling the boys on hold position, protecting that spore. Did lose 6 drones in total, but that was perfectly fine. He defended, deflected, counterattacked. GG. GG, well played. With that, Reynor does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if we can extend that lead further as we load into game number 2. Let's go. We're loading into game 2. Gonna be loading into White Rabbit. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of White Rabbits, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Basilisk, leading the series 1-0. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself, down in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Creator. Here we go. No. But here we go. We are going to be setting up. So far, we do have our standard openers, nothing crazy. There's no like early pool or early gas geyser, no shenanigans, no proxy. So the early game is going to be standard. But the follow-up here is what we're keeping our eye on. Now, last game, Creator, he did go Twilight Council first, based on the outcome of the last game and based on just the series itself. Here in game 2, we should see a Stargate opener. Now, that doesn't mean that Creator's going to play standard. No, not at all. But we are now loading into a larger map, so the chances and likelihood of Creator stabilizing on a higher base count is much higher here to be able to get a Stargate, Oracles, third base, Robo, Immortals, Colossus, build up on 3 and 4 bases. There's a higher chance of Creator being successful there. There's not as much pressure on Creator anymore. Remember, we spoke last game when getting into it, it was on Ruby Rock. Aggression is favored, aggression is expected, and we saw aggression out of Creator, out of both players really. Here on White Rabbits, larger map, longer rush distance. We can calm down. Yeah. Here we go. From here, we're just waiting for our tech of choice from Creator. Reynor getting in position. So power joining. Oh, he's doing it again. Now, again, I assume that, okay, after a failed in game 1, we're going to calm things down in game 2, especially because it's a larger map. But you know what? This is where mind games come into play. This is where you say, hold up, you know, he's not going to expect me to do this 2 games in a row, right? That's why it works the second time around. Cohopium. I'm not in love with the idea of doing this the second time, but here we go. As you can see here, we're staying in gas. 3 and 3 still in gas. So once again, there's a higher chance that the Dark Shrine is going to be involved, even if it's Glaive Adept, so we can go into DTs. This time the Overlord confirms much faster here. The Overlord dips in. The Overlord does confirm the Twilight Council. Ooh, but it's going to be Blink, not Glaives. Okay. Now, we have been seeing this build permeate a little bit more throughout the scene in recent weeks, and we'll see if he goes into extra gateways and goes into a 2-base 4-gate Blink all-in. It's a very niche build, very, very niche. But we've seen it pop up. Who was the other Protoss player that did this? Was it Hero? It might have been Hero, it might have been SOS, it might have been both of them actually. But here we go, there's a gateway explosion. We have 4 gates in total. If it's going to be a 2-base all-in, you can justify getting 2 more gateways and getting it to 6. But we'll see. That's what I was sticking with 4. Link slips in. Link gets a full scout. Oh, that should not have happened. Reynor. He slipped in. He saw all the gateways. He saw the Twilight Council. There it is. We have 2 more gates on the way. It is going to be a 2-base 6-gate Blink all-in. Here we go. Reynor, I don't think he saw the extra gateways. Yeah, he didn't fully confirm, so technically in his mind this can lead into an expansion. It could, like 4-gate Blink, or just revealing 4-gate Glaives can lead into a base. Reynor here to go to safety Roach Warren. The Lings are amassing as we speak. Reynor cutting workers at 42 and on 2 gases. 2 gases, 42 drones, massing up Lings, and soon Roaches as well. And we'll see if we'll see if Creator can pull this off. Can he do it? So now moves that across the map. It does move out, pushing in towards the 3rd. And Reynor, ooh, he does get supply blocked. Yeah, brutal supply block. Stalkers are revealed. Lings are coming from behind. Another Overlord goes down. Uh-oh. Yeah, Reynor can't make anything. Pokes in, spots the slow lots. Yeah, again, I'm pretty sure we saw SOS do this recently. As Reynor is holding off for now. He's holding off. Oh. And we're just buying time for extra warpins. Reynor, he's now no longer supply blocked. More freaking Ravagers, more Zerglings. Very patient play here out of Reynor. But the Zealots, they stop the links from collapsing in. He's going for the Stalkers. But there's Blink. Yeah, Blink is activated. Reynor, he tries to lock it down. It rushes past the Zealots. And we get a decent round here, but he's running out of links. Is it going to be enough? Oh my god. Okay, nice save. Nice save on the Zerglings. Zones back the army. But again, a very messy defense here. Reynor, he lost a lot of Zerglings in the defense. A lot of Zerglings went down. Reynor's going for the counterattack. Creator moves in. Setting up for this round once again. Oof. Ravager falls. And I think I give the edge to Creator here. He might just have too much. Bearing in mind that Reynor's economy is lacking. And he gets a Ravager. It was Trigger. It may have been Trigger. No, yeah, I think you're right. I think it was Trigger. Like the players, they blend together. But like we've seen this build like in the last week, like in recent times. No, yeah, I believe it was Trigger and Home Story Cup, right? Yeah, there it is. It was Trigger versus Reynor. Hey, oh, deja vu. it was Trigger versus Reynor in Home Story Cup. Yeah. It was on Tourmaline. Technically, it was 2 games in a row. Yes. You triggered the core memory. But it was at Home Story Cup. As once again, Reynor, he's setting up this round. Can he lock down this army? But yeah, I'm sure Creator was watching. I'm sure. True. Jesus. Gets one. Almost gets the other. Ravages are getting low. Oof. Catching out a couple of Stalkers. Catching out a couple. You see the soul count is getting higher and higher over time. The biggest problem here is just lack of economy, right? Reynor, he has no economy to work with. Roach is going down. Ravage is going down as well. Massive pickups. Catching a queen. And the problem here is that Reynor just cannot engage. He can't surround. That's what the Zealots are for. There are just so many of them. Gets another Ravager. Another Ravager, more Zerglings. Creator now taking a supply lead. And he's just bullying this army. Zealot Lings, I guess, spotted. Lings are spotted. Who needs charge, Pappy? Oh, has to be careful. Jesus. Creator, he's gonna be careful here with how he engages. Gotta bring his army together. And Creator is now eclipsing Reynor in supply even further. I think he has done it. Reynor's trying to take extra gases. Trying to build up his Roach Ravager. Losing another Ravager. How many Stalkers have we lost this game? Okay, 11. 11 Stalkers for 135 Lings. And 12 Ravagers. The efficiency, baby. Ay. And it's gonna work again. It's gonna... Oh, a little bit wasteful there. A lot of Stalkers do go down to the Zerglings. Reynor, he can now come in for the surround. He can now commit. Creator just getting a little bit too excited here. Did bleed out a massive chunk of Stalkers. Yeah, that was 8 Stalkers going down. Sniping more Ravagers. Nice kiting. Oh, nice spread. Another Stalker gets picked up. Oof. But you can see Reynor, his Ravager count is just getting lower and lower. Bleeding out too much. Oh my god, the vials! Did they connect? Okay, vial connects. Catching out a pair of Stalkers. Oof. He's just sniping Ravagers. Clutch transfuse. Nice opposition Miker. Running it down to 11 Ravagers. So now we open some force fields, some sentries. I'm not sure if I'm too fond with the idea of reinforcing with sentries here, just because there are so many Ravagers. But I mean, Guardian Shield will help, especially against the Zerglings. Oh my god! Creator, he does mess up a little bit here. Takes some massive bounce to the face. Down to 25 Stalkers. Again, he still has to be careful. Still has to be careful here. Warping in more sentries. And it looks like now we find the gimmicks. Okay, he just pulls the trigger. He does pull the trigger. Link's coming from behind. Shows his force fields. He can zone away the Zerglings. And he does. It does zone away. The fight is getting close here. Down to 10 Ravagers. And he's almost on top of them. Oof. Death to 9. 9 Ravagers left. Oof, nice force fields catching up. 2 more. Oh, yeah. 2 more Ravagers go down. 2 more Roaches as well. We can even deny mining here at the center base. That's unfortunate. That's very unfortunate there. Reynor, he cannot mine. Bearing in mind that Creator is running out of resources back at home, he's heavily oversaturated. So technically, like, I still feel like Creator has been out trading for sure, but he is running out of steam. If this lasts long enough, Creator, he's gonna run out of money. He's just gonna run out of money. Again, there's not many patches back at home, and he's fully walled in. Can Reynor survive? Can he starve him out? Oh. Oh. Sniping one of the Ravagers. Boy, we build back up to 12. Soon to be 14. Decent Ravager count. Ooh, as we just commit in. Yeah, getting 1, 2, 3 Ravagers going down. Nice big save by Creator. Reynor not quite ready for a surround. So, you know, I might just be losing too much. It's going to go down to 10. Down to 10 Ravagers. Assaults are activated. Nice force fields catching out 2 more Ravagers. Oof. Does take some bounce to the face. But again, a much lower Ravage account. Stalkers are very low as well. Reynor, he just wants to mine. It's going back to mining. Oh, the wilds. Oh my god. Yeah, it does avoid. Nice dodge. Nice dodge on the wilds. Ravager's down to 8. Yeah, there's barely any Ravager left. Lings are coming from behind, but we still have plenty of Zealots. The Zealots, they're still holding on. Lings coming for the surround, and they go to some of the Stalkers. Yeah, he's done it. He's done it. He surrounds the Stalkers, and with that, Reynor. This was a 10-minute defense, by the way. That was crazy. He was defending for so long here. Cleans up all the Zealots. Now we can reinforce with Lings. Zerglings are all he needs. Oof. Despite that, Creator still not backing up. Still retains a decent chunk of Stalkers. The Wilds! Oh my god, Prism goes down, no more reinforcements. Ah. And Reynor, he's held back. GG gets called. The all-in fails, and Reynor, he will claim the series 2-0. GG. Whew. GG, well played. A very close, a very clutch all-in there. Again, Creator, he was trading well, that is true, but he wasn't really gaining any ground, unfortunately. I mean, he was never able to really push into the third base. He wasn't able to really commit in. He was trading well for himself. There were a couple of key moments where he did slip up, and he was taking some biles to the face. True. Reynor was very adventurous with his biles, and quite successful with them as well to be able to punish those Stalkers, but it just lasted so long. As you mentioned, because of just the length of that game, Creator, he couldn't really reinforce as much. He didn't really have much of an economy. He was running out of minerals back at home. He was mining very inefficiently, so it was just getting worse and worse for Creator, and Reynor barely did hold on. GG, well played. Reynor, he does claim the series, does take down the Creator 2-0 to advance on into the winners match. Bearing in mind that this is a GSL group, not round robin. We're taking a break from Home Story Cup, or done with Home Story Cup, I should say. But it is going to be GSL format, so Reynor does advance on, and meanwhile Creator is knocked down to the lower brackets. He's going to be knocked down. But again, a very tense hold, very tense, very fatiguing as well, just because it lasted so long. Like that all-in did last so long. So very impressive play there by Reynor. Will claim the series. As that leads us into our next matchup, our next best of 3. We have our next pairing here of players, our next duo. It is going to be a TVZ between Maru and Lambo. Let's go. Game 1 is on Tourmaline. It's catching up. Spawning in the top right hand corner here of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran, the blue Terran himself, representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And spawning in the bottom hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the blue Zerg player. The blue Zerg player himself, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is Lambo. From the land of Germany. Let's go. Let us go. But also, thank you so much. Grip904 in the chat. I do appreciate it. Triggering that core memory of triggering that build against Reynor. Again, like I knew that like we'd seen it like recently, but like it was slipping my mind. But yes, triggered to do that in Home Story Cup against Reynor in the group stage successfully. Actually, very successfully. It also, I guess, helped that Trigger did do this on this map, on Tourmaline, on a smaller map where reinforcements are faster and reinforcements hit harder as well. Creator had a hard time really gaining momentum. He was trading well for himself, don't get me wrong, he was trading well, but again, didn't quite have enough momentum to actually push into the expansion and to break the third base, or to really do much more than that. You could argue that the links from Reynor, they did their job, right? So they ensured that Zealots, they had a really hard time actually being a part of the fight. They were being left idle. You could argue that maybe we could have peeled off a couple of them to push forward, to come with the Stalkers as well, just to brute force the issue. But regardless, GG, well played. And now we're settling into our next matchup. It's going to be a TVZ between Maru and Lambo. Let's go. So far, standard opener, ranks expand, but welcome to Tourmaline, and I'm a little bit surprised this map wasn't vetoed. Traditionally, smaller maps do favor Terran, just because they allow for Terran players to be even more aggressive and even more assertive, and rally across the map even harder as well. Tourmaline is an interesting case. It is a small map, so in that sense I do favor Maru here, but at the same time the map is very open. It's very open and they're very prone to surrounds. So depending, especially if you can get into the mid game, if you can get into the mid game, then there are a lot of flanks, surrounds, and you can now position your opponent, you can now position the Terran and get some better engagements. There is potential. Meanwhile, 3cc. That is a third G. That's a third CC before factory and before racks. Oh my god. It's incredibly greedy build here by Maru. So very greedy starts. I'm feeling 3cc, 3 racks. Yep. So 3cc, we should be seeing another racks after this as well. This is not the first time we've seen this build out of Maru in recent times. I believe we saw this during Thunderfire. Was it Thunderfire or Rongi Cup? Again, all the big events are blending together here. But I believe we saw Maru in... Well, it would have been Rongi Cup, right? Yes. Actually, he played in both. that doesn't help things. But he played in both Rongi Cup and Thunderfire. But I'm thinking of Maru versus Lambo. Sorry, Maru versus Reynor at Thunderfire. So we're going for a 3cc 2-on-1 variation. Interesting. So we're going to be going for a sim timing. Now this add-on, this is a really interesting build. This factory is much later than usual. We are still going for the add-on swap into reactor Hellion production. Our eyes are on Maru to see if he makes 2, 4, or 6 or even more Hellions. It should only be up to 4 max, and then switching back into marine production for that stim timing. But if he keeps making more Hellions, then there's a higher chance that we do see an armory for a 3cc 2-on-1 Hellbat push. So how many Hellions? We got 2 so far. Getting another set of Hellions. Only getting 3 Hellions actually. Okay. Okay, 4. There we go. Like 4 Hellions is enough to give you a bit of a presence on the map and to scout, but yep, there it is, armory. So now we understand it. Now we see why he went for the add-on swap into the reactor delayed, is to actually to commit into Hellbats. So it is going to be a Hellbat timing. Lambo does expand towards his opponent, so he's going to have faster creep across the map. This is a much more aggressive and assertive start. Lambo going lair first before any other tech structure. It's going to be lair into Banelings for a Ling Bane setup, and we'll see if Lambo can survive the Hellbat timing. It's going to hit quite hard. It's going to hit very, very strong, and it'll come down to Lambo's positioning, his queens as well. We bring this up all the time, but technically you can defend against this with purely Queen Ling, but only if you don't get caught. What I mean by that, if you notice, how many queens do we have in total? We have 8. And 8 queens altogether can defend. They can muster up a defense. But right now there are 3 queens forward, and if these 3 queens get caught on their own, and thankfully we bring them all together, but if they got caught on their own, then that could just be game. And we have seen that before. Meanwhile, the Marines, they still step forward. They catch out the Overlord. Here come the Hellbats. We have 7 Banelings morphing in. They're coming. But is it too late? As Maru stims into the middle line, he wants those queens. Banelings are almost done. And Maru playing very carefully. He did spot the Banelings.
Complete.
And he backs off. Okay, very respectful here from Maru. Spots the Banelings, pulls the hell out of there. Behind this, getting his third base. Remember, it was a greedy opener and a greedy build, and we have a second factory. Okay, let him cook, Pappy. Let him cook. Second factory is very unorthodox. You would typically reserve your second factory until you have all of your 6 gases. Here we're doing it on 2 bases, so very fast second factory. Here this could lead into a heavy Widow Mine setup. In my mind, that would make sense. Going into, let's say, like a tech lab, into drilling claws, into a heavy mine style. Yeah, tech lab is on the way. In my mind, yep, there we go. Widow Mine production, tech lab, drilling claws. Which again, we did see this against Reynor. It's a very heavy momentum based kind of style, and it actually does allow you to even go for like mid-game drop play as well, like Widow Mine drops. Maru does rotate. Yo, meanwhile, a big shout out to Iceland. Thank you so much. Oh my, of all the gifted subs today, Pappy. The 6th gifted sub to Setuna. Thank you, Iceland. Thank you. Do appreciate it. Este Iceland. As the main does roll in, catching out some of the Hellbats, which they're meant to be traded. At the same time, Mind Drop here into the forward base. Rotating over. Drilling Claw still not yet done, but it's on the way. As Lambo still setting up his thing, Bane. Setting up, going for another mind drop. 8 drones going down. This time Lambo is paying attention. Drilling Claws is complete, but he should be able to react in time. Does pull away. Yeah, pulls away. Oh no! Oh my god, 2. 2 drones go down. That could have been so much worse. Does back off, does pull away.
Upgrade complete.
And Maru still just rallying across the map, still with a plethora of Widow Mines. Against Link Bane, Maru, he has a very efficient composition. We are trying to switch into Hydras, but there aren't that many, only 11 Hydras. Lambo trying to be active. Widow Mine drop comes back in. Oof, catching at 8 more drones. This is getting a little bit out of hand as we have 1 more mine drop left. Oh! And can we reach the logo? We can!
Mineral field
completed. The unburrow. Repositioning. Catching out Ducklings instead. And again, this kind of like mid-game mind drop play is very rare. It's very rare in I mean, all matchups really. Even against Protoss. But hey, Maru, he's making it worth it. Getting damage done. Going in once again. Going in for another drop. Lambo does pull away. Oh no! Oh my god, massive connections, and we have 1 more mine here towards the 3rd. This time, once again, late reaction. This time only getting 1 drone. Widow Mine does survive. Maru, he's being fancy. He's being fancy. Oh my god. Yeah, Lambo, he tries to commit in. Takes a massive mine shots to the face. Bailings, they don't quite make it past the Hellbats. Do not make it through, not into planetary, not into the tank line, as we're switching out of just pure Widow Mines into tanks. So tank mine out of Maru. Lambo trying to collapse in, getting on top of the tank. Up! We get some decent brainy connections. But again, Lambo's economy has not been ideal. Still trying to trade. A late hive here for Lambo. Ooh, for a moment we had some safety infestors on the way. We have 1. Okay, 1 infestor. We got 1 fungal. Smart still being very active. Oh. Does back up in time. Clutch pickup. Both arms are maxed. Now there's no more fungals. And Lambo, he has to make a stand here and now. If he doesn't, he will lose the base. That's the other downside of Tourmaline. It's so smap. Sorry, it's so small, so few maps. We're still waking up, Pappy. Oh! That's Banes, they crash in. Decent connection. Nice flank here out of Lambo. Very nice flank. But barely can he break through. Not quite. Oof. Yeah, not quite. No more lings, no more banelings. The Hydras are exposed. Oh, he overextends. Yeah, bleeds out most of his Hydras. Army keeps rushing forward. Sure, we have a fungal, but there's no follow-up. This time there are no banelings. Yeah, fungal lands. Lings extra in. The expansion goes down. And you can see the momentum swing heavily in favor of Maru. Maru, he's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. Lambo plummeting. They're at 70 supply. Jesus. But again, he lost one of his most important bases, right? His mining bases has been shut down. He took a really rough fight to losing all of his Hydras. Did overextend. And at this point, Maru has done it. Maru, he has broken Lambo, pushing on in, denying the center expansion, and now going for the kill. Going for the kill, going for the throat. Lambo did hold his own for a lot of this game, but again, it was a really unorthodox style that he was playing against. Going up against the faster factories and non-stop Widowmine drops. GG gets called, and Maru takes game number 1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. And this has been a bit of a newer style that Maru has been showcasing as of late, and I really do appreciate it. If you remember, we were a little bit, we were very critical last year of Maru. Like, I would say that 2025 Maru left much to be desired. Did leave much to be desired, and it did feel like yeah, he was kind of being left behind in terms of the meta in a sense. So last year, Maru was very, very fond of Araxes, of mech as well, of these like very specific styles that he was not really deviating away from. We even saw that at DreamHack Dallas, if you recall. But after the patch, ZVT was kind of shaken up, right? With the introduction of the Baneling buff, of Mutas being more viable as well, ZVT had to change, had to adjust, and Maru has been so much more flexible over the past couple of months ever since the patch. So I'm very happy that the patch did succeed in that, in kind of breaking that mold and forcing out different styles and forcing some more activity out of our Terran players, and I feel like Maru is a prime example of that. Known back in the day for a little bit more of a macro style or turtley style, but nowadays being more active. To appreciate it. GG. GG, well played. With that, Maru, he does take a lead in the series, and we'll see if he can extend that lead even further and claim it here and now, or if Lambo can bounce back. Up next, loading into Winter Madness. Let's go. Let us go. Spawning in the bottom right hand corner. Bottom right hand corner here of Winter Madness, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the Blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player himself, the German Zerg for Shopify. It is Lambo. Here we go. So we're getting into game 2. As we load in, we'll see if Maru does go for a similar style, bearing in mind that last game he went for a 3cc 2-on-1 Hellbat push. What was most exciting to me was that he was very mature with his Hellbat push. It was a more unique variation, of course, with the later factory. But once he saw that Lambo was ready with Banelings, like, Maru, he just backed off. He preserved his army and built up into a later timing, which was viable here because Maru went for such a fast 3rd CC. I feel like he can get away with greed even better here on Winter Madness. Larger map, longer rush distance. Likewise, we expect to see some more macro out of Lambo as well. Some more greed even is what I should say. And we could even potentially see Muta play, which can be quite difficult against a fast player for sure, but we'll see. Lambo does have options. And should have more breathing room here. Go. As Maru does claim his natural, so does Lambo so far. Everything's looking normal, everything's looking as it should be. Everything's looking standard. And from here, we're waiting for our tech of choice. Last game, we went straight into a 3rd CC. And Maru, he might do it again. He's banking up resources. Yeah, he's going for it. Eyes are on the SCV. Same build here, 2 games in a row. 3rd CC before any other tech structure here. So racks, expand into what? Into most likely a 2nd racks, then into the factory, into the 2-on-1. We'll see if Maru deviates. But so far, my eyes are on Maru. Like, this is a more unique build and a unique setup here that we're seeing, I would say, for the first time. Yep, 2nd racks. 2nd racks into factory, into add-on swap. Whether he goes for the same Hellbat push variation, I'm curious to see. I feel like a lot of it will come down to whether or not he add-on swaps with the factory. Oh, this time it's the build that we thought it was last game. 3 CC, 3 racks. Okay. This is something that we did see during Thunderfire. So this is a very greedy build. Very greedy build here. There are some pros, there are some cons. But this does make sense on a larger map. The biggest con, the biggest downside to this, especially on Tourmaline, is that you would be very vulnerable to a roach all-in, right? Roach all-ins hit so hard, especially when you're delaying tank production, when you're delaying your factor, when you're delaying scouting as well. Reaper dips in, and Reaper does get some information across the map. This time going into Massive Marine like this and going into triple Raxes can be very greedy. You can even see here we have a double eBay follow-up, and I believe if I remember correctly, when it comes to a series against Reynor at Thunderfire, it was 3 CC 3 racks, and this led into an 8 racks 3 base all in. Just because of the hyper greed early on, it leads into a very strong 2-2 timing with an 8 racks. So in my mind, that's the direction that this game is kind of leading us in. And if Lambo doesn't punish this early, then Lambo will be punished instead. Like, this build hits like a truck. So again, it's not about the 1-1, it's about the 2-2, at least in my mind. So now, just getting our factory into Starport, into reactor, into add-on solve, into medevac production. Stim is on the way. Lambo currently hasn't seen anything, which is a bit of a shame. That's what's scary about current, I would say, these games that we've been seeing out of Maru, is that it is very unorthodox, it's very unique. What I mean by that, Kira isn't doing this, Björn isn't doing this, Clem isn't doing this. Like, these builds that we've been seeing game 1 and now in game 2, in this matchup are much more unique to Maru. Much more unique. I think we might have seen Björn do this build, like 3cc 3 racks against Zerg. I think we might have seen that out of Björn maybe once, but even then, like, I don't know if I can say that with full certainty. I know that Björn likes this build against Protoss 100%. He's very fond of this build against Protoss. I know that Björn is very close with Maru and they share builds, but we'll see. Armory's on the way. That'll be for 2-2. As I mentioned, this is all coming into a 2-2 timing. We're building up to 5 Raxes, and we're expecting to see 3 more Raxes thrown down. If we see no gas at the 3rd and 3 more Raxes, that confirms the 3 base all in. So Maru's just been chilling and doing his own thing. Lambo has been droning, saturating. I believe Lambo did go earlier lair. Yep, he went lair into Baliness, into delayed Evo chambers. So this is really safe play. A really safe play out of Lambo. And that means in the grand scheme of things that Lambo is behind. Just because he played so safely, it means that his upgrades are delayed. So delayed upgrades. He's got faster bailing speed, but that doesn't matter if there's no all-in coming. No aggression coming. Lambo does confirm the Mass Marine. He knows. So Lambo, he never got into the bases, but now he is aware of the Mass Bio setup. We see Lambo rushing into the infestation pit. Interesting. Okay, I like the idea of rushing into infestors. I do like the idea. As Mars being active. And you see what I see? I see a 4th CC. A 4th command center and a 2nd factory. This should lead into extra gases. It looks like this is not an 8 racks. This is not a 3 base all in. We are building and macroing up into a longer game. Otherwise, we would have seen these 3 raxes earlier. Like, we're still building up into 8 raxes, but that's after the 2nd factory. That's after the 4th CC. After the follow-up. Oh! That's a bit of X8 to pull away. pull away, they pull back home. Lambo, he has his pits. Does he have any infestors? Not yet. So no safety infestors. From here we can get into just the hive. Oh, there it is. Straight hive. Now I'm curious who it's first. Lambo, with his setup here, he's primed to go into ultras, right? To go into the ultra cavern, to go into ultra production with the melee upgrades. That would make sense here, but can Lambo get there? Without infestors, it's going to be difficult. It's 2-2 is finishing. Maru, he can start to be active. Main does collapse in, catching up some marines. Main army does hit the third, or in the natural. So far good reactions as Maru gets away with the SCVs. Ay. Yeah, minimal losses. Lambo committing into the third base though. It does collapse in. Maru out of position. He's being torn apart actually. Not bad. He gets into the middle line. SCVs are going down and Maru, he's losing far too much. Yeah, losing far too much here. Maru, he was going for his 2-2 timing, but he's been dragged back and forth in between his bases. And Lambo, he's here to make a series out of this. Again, before Maru could do anything on the map, before he could hit his upgrade timing, he just gets torn apart here. 32 SCV kills. 32 SCVs. And if you remember, my concern was, does Lambo get into ultras? Does he survive that long? Can he get there in a decent with a decent economy? The answer is yes. The answer is he's fine. Ultra Cavern's on the way. We have Adrenal on the way into eventually 3-3. And Maru, his economy's in the gutter. Technically, Lambo might even end the game before there are ultras. As Lambo is almost maxed out. Building up 15 banelings. Yeah, Lambo, have some confidence. We can keep going. There's nothing to defend. Lambo could deny the fourth. Could deny the fourth base, but now the planetary is finishing. Lambo maybe being a little bit too respectful here. He may not be aware just how far ahead he is. Collapsing in the army. Trying to bait out those mine shots. Ooh, yeah, mine shots get baited out. Massive amount of Ling main does break through. Oof. It does break through, cashing out more reinforcements, pushing into the mineral lines. More SCVs will go down. And Lambo, he breaks the planetary. Yeah, planetary falls. Again, Maru, he cannot defend. He was broken earlier. Bailings, can they get in? Not quite. But it's fine. Still 32 SCV kills. Lambo overwhelms. Ultra production has begun, so we are getting into ultras. And Maru, well, he's coping pretty hard here. I mean, has been for a while. Ever since the first dive, ever since we saw Maru plummet 70 supply. It's been a rough position here for Maru. And again, his only hope for recovering was Lambo being passive. But thankfully he was not. He was not passive. Flank on the left. Ultras have arrived. We need a little bit more time for kindness plating, but Lambo, he doesn't wait. He doesn't need to be honest. And GG gets called. Lambo ties up the series. We are going to the ace match. Whew, GG. GG, well played. We're going to the ace match here. Again, Maru, he was being hyper greedy, going 3cc 3x with a fast double E-bays and into eventually 2-2. He was building up into that 2-2 timing, but just before he got there, he was vulnerable. It also didn't help Maru that he went for a double drop, so he had a bunch of supply out on the map, but he was just torn apart. We saw a run by the natural, we saw the counterattack at the third base. Maru, he was just being pulled left and right, torn apart by all the aggression, and Lambo did outmaneuver. GG. GG, well played. With that, we have an ace match. We have a game 3. Let's go. We're loading into game 3. Going to be loading into Ruby Rock. Ooh, one of these smaller maps. Okay. One of the smaller maps of the map. Well, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the the blue Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have the pink Zerg player, the German Zerg, representing Shopify. It is Lambo. Here we go. Maru, he was punished for his greed, but we should not be seeing that level of greed here on Ruby Rock. Much smaller map, much more aggressive map as well. So we are expecting to see Maru go for either a more assertive build or just calm things down a little bit. Does he go for the third CC before Factory and Rax again? That's a better question. Does he do it again? I'm not opposed to the opener, but the follow-up was just a bit too much last game. I mean, I say that. I wasn't opposed to it on Winter Madness. I wasn't opposed to it, but I mean, again, we saw that the defenses were lacking for Maru. Again, maybe a little bit of overconfidence out of Maru in game 2. We'll see if he tightens things up here in game number 3. So now, hatch gas pool, standard open out of Lambo. And we'll keep an eye on Maru after the CC. Just at command center. So far, we've seen 3 CC 3 racks. We've seen 3 CC 2-on-1 Hellbat push. I wouldn't be opposed to even going back to Hellbats here in game number 1, but at the same time, I like the idea of seeing something new, something different. Show us what you got. And now we see something more standard. Maru going for the factory after the natural. Okay, so standard build here out of Maru. We're done with the fast 3cc. Gonna show it off in the first 2 games. But definitely something I'm gonna be trying to remember and keep in the back of my mind is Maru's willingness to go for that fast 3cc style. Oh, speaking of willingness though, Lambo willing to go for an all-in. That is a 235-ish, 240-ish Roach Warren timing very early, and we've seen this before. We are going for fast borrow. Let's go. Let's go, baby, let's go. So it's going to be fast borrow. It's going to be 2-base all-in. Basically, the way this works is borrow works almost the same way the blink works for stalkers, where when a roach gets low on HP, you borrow the roach. You borrow the roach individually, so it survives the fight, it regenerates HP, and then you can unborrow it, bam, you poke back up once it has decent amount of regeneration to keep the aggression going. Remember, roaches, they heal when they're borrowed. So here we go. Here comes the all-in. Here he comes. Again, this is not the first time we've seen this out of Lambo. So roaches are walling across the map. But if you remember, we saw this during Lambo's games on... or during his games in Home Straight Cup as well. True. As roaches are sent across the map. Burrow is now done. And Maru back in. What does he have to defend? No Cyclone, no Bunker, only Hellions. Hellions, they cannot defend against this, by the way. Lambo, he can do this. He can do it. It was a 3rd CC afterwards into Mech. Oh, God. Cyclones will help. He has to buy time for his Cyclones. Oh, roaches are clumping up here. There's the burrow, but a Hellion, the splash damage can still hit that roach. But you can see they're healing. You can see the roaches are healing. Once again, does burrow. There's the scan. Forcing the unburrow. But only 1 roach has gone down so far. Oh! Yeah, just 1 roach for the time being. But Maru, he's buying enough time for his Cyclones. Yeah, the Cyclones are out, which means Maru, he defends. And Lambo knows. Lambo's running. Lambo, he's running up back at home. The all-in has failed. Now the goal is just contain. Just contain for as long as possible. Oh. Doesn't quite get a Hellion. Hellion survives. Oh god. Yeah, catching up more of the roaches. And every roach is going to fall. That will trigger a counterattack. And back at him, what is it to defend? There are so many Hellions. Yeah, Hellions are moving out. So are the Cyclones. Macfield is almost done. And it's going to be a shaky defense here for Lambo. Remember, Lambo, he skipped link speed to do this. Technically, if he needs to, he could borrow his roaches. Sorry, his drones, I meant to say. Could borrow his drones to protect them. Jesus, they line up. Drones, they line up for a moment there. Thankfully, they pull away in time. Only one drone goes down. And the roaches have arrived. Okay. Lambo's holding. Lambo's holding on back at home. Hellions, they rotate towards the natural. They make their way in. Roach is out of position. Very out of position here. The drones are once again clumping up. Oof. Getting it to 4, getting it to 5 drone kills. Can we get 6? We can. 6 drones go down. A nice trade here from Maru. Maru trades well. And interestingly enough, we have Maru switching into tanks already. Usually we would delay tank production here for more battle mech. But no, already switching into tanks. Already massing up. Now again, when it comes to Maru playing mech, mech has been making a big return in recent times, but even then, Maru played a lot of mech last year. It was a little bit different though, and there was more reason to. Everyone was playing mech. Clem was playing mech, Bjorn was playing mech, Maru was playing mech. If you remember, the reason for that is because that was back with the previous bugged Cyclone, with the Cyclone being stronger than what it was intended. So battle mech was permeating throughout all matchups last year. Which is also why, since it was quote-unquote fixed and adjusted and nerfed in the latest patch, we assumed that that would have battle mech die off. But the answer is no. We've been seeing a lot more and more mech as of late. If you remember, if you were here for Big Gabe versus Cyril, Big Gabe during Home Story Cup did actually defeat Cyril. Did defeat him at Home Story Cup with mech. Multiple times. So Cyril had a harder time against that. Maru now whipping it out against against Lambo. Whipping it out. Behind this we have Tunneling Claws. Scan confirms that Tunneling Claws is on the way. Confirms that there's research on the Roach Warren. So Maru, he knows. He also confirms the Hive. And the switch into link speed. He saw so much. So much in the main. As we have extra factories on the way, building up more mech. Just building up. Lambo has potential with his army, but as we mentioned before, Tunneling Claws was scouted, and now there's a Raven. Yeah, Raven does give chase. Here's his second army on the right hand side. And Lambo, can he break through those tanks? Can he avoid them even as well? Yeah, boys are being pulled, and he gets us around. The erosion on both angles here, or really from just one angle. Takes down 2 tanks. Messy fight here from Lambo, but Lambo does get the mineral line. 19 SCVs go down. And economically, Maru, he's crippled. Maru, he is crippled. Down to 55 workers. We have Banshee speed on the way. Hyperflight rotors. Cheeky moves out of Lambo. It's getting cheeky, Pat. But Lambo has momentum. He has momentum, and I'm hoping he doesn't lose that momentum himself. Lambo, he's almost maxed. He's almost maxed out. He's taking up a little bit further into the Spire, into Viper production as well. But I'm hoping that Lambo keeps the pressure up and keeps pressure on to keep Maru down and out. To keep his economy in check. Otherwise, he's allowing Maru to build up a greater army to get into mech. Which again is terrifying. Forcing out a scan. Catching out more Roges, that's a lot of dead supply. Maru's getting his 4th base up and running. This should not be happening. Lambo's main army needs to be here to deny the expansion. Remember, like Maru, his main army is centralized here at the 3rd base. That 4th base is so exposed. It's protected by the battle mech, I suppose, but it might be too late. Now we have depots, turrets, sensor towers. Now the tanks are repositioning. Now we're securing this 4th. Yeah, it is now much more secure. The Vipers can help. They can throw down blinding clouds. They can abduct. Oof, but the tank lollies are brutal here. Maybe we get some decent blinding clouds. But there's 4 more tanks behind this. CC does lift. Lambo pushing forward. Can he break through? The reinforcements. Gets a tank. There's still 4 tanks left. Yeah, with the help of these bots, with the help of the reinforcements, it looks like the final tanks are going to go down. And Lambo, he has broken Maru. Ay, ay, ay. He has barely broken through. In the hardest way possible as well. I do feel like there was potential to break this position before the army had amassed. So I didn't have faith. I was like, yo, Maru, he's got what? Like 6, 7 tanks sieged up in position. But nice blinding clouds, nice flank as well, drawing away some of the tank fire. Yes, they're Lambo. And this time, refining his army, right? Now, less roaches, more lings, more hydras. An army that's better built to dive. Oof. It's a lot of tanks. Now, if there's anyone that can turtle up after a deficit, it's Maru. Like, Maru, he is the best when it comes to turtling, when it comes to just slowing the game down. That is what Maru's renowned for. In this matchup specifically, in TVT. So if anyone can, it would be Maru. You know, we got Ascended, this time with 4 Vipers. Sorry, 5 Vipers, Jesus. Lacking a little bit of energy here, but regardless, 5 Vipers are available. Lings, they come in for the run by. They are spotted. And army collapsing in. Here come the blinding clouds. Covering 3 tanks so far. 4. But not quite enough. Yeah, Lambo does not have enough. He cannot break through. Does he have a greater spire? He does. Okay, greater spire is done. A Broodlord switch would make the most sense here. Ready for his Broodlords. Last from here is getting ready. Corruptors are amassing. What is the anti-air looking like? Mainly Cyclone, right? Well, actually, my apologies. There was already a Viking count pre-set up. It's already a decent chunk of Vikings. They were to respond into answer to the Vipers, if you recall. So Maru, he has an answer. We got the first Broodlord morphing in. Lambo, he has to free up supply. Because this is taking so long, this does allow Maru to actually secure himself. So there was a point where he was down 70, 80 supply. But now Maru, he's almost maxed out himself. And he's securing his fourth. Again, once you get the fourth base, you can max out as the Meching Terran. Thor production has begun. Oh, going into the fusion core as well. You have my attention. Could be for just Liberator range, but it also could be for BCs. Scan reveals, confirms the Broodlords. Oof. Yeah, big scan. And that lead, that momentum that Lambo once had isn't there anymore. The one advantage he should have here this game now should be the tech, but the problem is that there are already a good amount of Vikings, and now Thors are on the way. The Broodlords are not ideal, not anymore, especially without infestors. I'm getting deja vu. Been here before. Recently. As nice and very nice abductions here, does get almost every single Viking. Oh my god, he shuts down every single Viking. Let's go. No more Vikings, only Thors remaining. Another abduction. 2 Thors left. And if Lambo can kill every single Thor here, he can end the game. The Vials. Oh my god. Still very clutch. Still very clutch. Still very close. Another Viking trickles in. Broodlords, they break the main army, they break through the tank line. The hero Viking doing what he can. And the lone hero Viking in the end, Lambo, he is pushing through. Pushing into the natural. You can see he's remaxing with Hydra Roach. Queens, they hit the transfuse. Very nice setup with the queens. Queens are in position. Maru stuck in 3 bases. Just now getting the southern fourth though. Does expand. Lambert currently is unaware. He's trying to force his way further in. Catches out one of the Thors. Gets a second Thor just barely. Still a very messy engage. Yeah, very messy here. Blinding clouds on the tanks. Main army moves in. The Biles, they catch another tank just barely. But Maru holds. Or he does hold on. And again, unfortunately, Lambert, he's just not aware of the fourth. Otherwise, he should be denying mining here. Maru, he has an economy. He has an economy, he's building back up. Recouping his losses. Lambert now is aware. Can he kill the CC? With all these Hydras, he may be able to. He may just kill the CC here. So steps forward, it gets both tanks. Oh, ignores one. And gets both. Yeah. Takes down the 4th base. I say that, but the SCVs did survive. They're transferring over. Mass Mule, the Mule Hammer. Maru, he just refuses to go down. He refuses. Building up more Thors, more tanks. Has Biles that didn't quite catch a tank. Does get a CC. Let's get the command center at the same time. Blue from Hellions, they bust into the northern base. 16 drone kills. Oof. Crazy damage. Crippling Lambo. As Lambo desperately needs an economy. Maru technically ahead economically. He's got mules. So greater economy for Maru. Still building up more tanks. This one was the anti-air looking like? 4 Thors. If Lambo had a bank that you could maybe try to afford, like, once again, another Broodlord switch. Okay. Picks up 2 more Thors. Tries to at least. They get away. Thors, they pull away in time. Maru, he now has a comparable, if not greater, main army. Still maintains his bases. Lambo didn't really drone up too much. As Maru can now start knocking down expansions. At the same time, does knight one of the bases. Okay, nice move. Lambo has to do the best he can to just stifle the economy. Maru, he's running out of steam. His main base is mined out. His natural is mined out. This is it. Like, this is all the mining that Maru has. He's got like half a base. And as Maru expands topside, honestly, there's an opening here. There's an opening into the main. Alright, what are we going for? Lambo, I meant to say. Lambo's max, and we have to make a decision. Do we push into the natural or do we push in towards the northern base and deny mining? Like Lambo, we're maxed. What's it gonna be? We can't just sit around. Okay, roaches are tunneling in towards the main. They're scouting ahead of time. There we go, dust bust into the main base, allowing one of the tanks to survive. Big reaction here. Maru, he's racing on over. Does race over, losing a CC. Production's under fire. Yeah, the production is hurting. Rush Ravager moving in. Biles, they do connect. Nice connections. Oh, these cyclones are a problem. And again, it's been impressive. Maru's been on the back foot for like 10 minutes. Like, it's maybe even more than that. It's been a rough game here for Maru, but like he's still hanging in there. And there've been some moments where he's just been out trading Lambo. Roaches are cleaned up. Lambo, he rotates over towards the top side. Again, his target should be this expansion. More Vipers on the way. And we're just moving in. And once again, Maru out of position. Completely out of position. 2 tanks going to be going down. Lynx collapsed in. He kills the CC. And Lambo, he's doing it. Like, he's... like, earlier, sure, Maru, he was able to take some better fights and have somewhat of economy. But Maru, he's down to 2 badges. GG gets called. And Lambo, he will take the series 2-1. Advancing on to the winners match. GG. Whew, hi, GG, well played, Lambo. He will claim the series. Again, a very intense back and forth, and even though Maru was on the back foot for the majority of that game, it was still very tense just because Maru was able to expand, right? Like, he was so tenacious when it came to claiming his own fourth base and building back up his army. Every time that happened, though, I will give credit to Lambo. Lambo was there to knock down a base, knock down an expansion, to trade with the army. And even though there were times where Lambo was trading inefficiently, because he had so many bases, because he had more efficient mining, he could afford it, right? He could afford to take bad fights, he could afford to take worse engagements. And with that, he was able to break Maru. GG, well played. A very impressive play here by Lambo. Brings Maru down. GG, well played. Does bring him down. That leads us into the winners match. It is going to be a ZVZ here between between Lambo and Reynor. Let's go. As a reminder, Reynor took down Creator. Meanwhile, Lambo took down Maru. We have that Zerg versus Zerg. Oh, but hey, here we go. But again, Maru, he was able to showcase some more unique builds in both Game 1 and Game 2 with the earlier CCs. Here in Game 3, he did go for a more standard opener into, of course, mech. But that's when Lambo was able to catch him with his pants down, able to commit into his roach all in. He did not kill, but he was able to pick off some SCVs and build up in towards that mid game. But GG, well played. With that, we have our winners match. The ZVZ is upon us, and we're loading into Game 1. It's going to be on Ruby Rock. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Ruby Rock, we have the Italian Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Basilisk. It is Reynor. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the German Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Shopify. It is Lambo. We go. Again, Lambo showcasing a more unique build, showcasing Burrow last game against Maru, where he was able to be a little bit more efficient with his roaches. I was a little bit concerned that he wasn't able to do enough damage early on, but he was able to get into the mid game, hit once again with a stronger timing, catch Maru with his pants down with his more exposed bases, and give Maru a very hard time claiming a fourth. Hard time. But here we go. For now, we're settling in to have our openers, slight variations here and there. We had Lambo going for a 15-15. Meanwhile, Reynor going for a more standard opener himself, just hatch gas, or I would assume just hatch gas pool. Yeah. So standard hatch gas pool out of Reynor. Lambo instead going 15-15. So this means that late gases out of Lambo, higher chance that Lambo skips link speed and goes into 2-base roach, or just 2-base play. That's a bold move on Ruby Rock, is what I will say. Bold move. So just kind of to step into it a little bit here, in ZVZ, because it's the mirror matchup, of course, there are certain kind of openers that lean towards a different direction because of how they open up. So we did mention already, Lambo has late gas. His gases are very, very late in comparison to Reynor. So there's going to be a window in time where if Lambo invests into link speed, there's going to be a window where Reynor has link speed and Lambo doesn't. Because of that, Lambo cannot defend his third base. He cannot defend his third, not with late link speed. So because of that, we should be seeing a wall here at the natural. Lambo should be playing 2-base instead. And as you mentioned, he should be going either into 2-base Roach or 2-base Muta, or he could go for a 2-base Link Flood all in and try to hide link speed and hide his links and try to catch his opponent off guard. So there are options here available with how the gas is spent. Link speed is on the way. That's interesting to me. As I mentioned before, this link speed, it may be the case that Lambo stays on 2 bases and makes it look like he's going roaches, and then bam, showing up with just a wave of links. And you can see here, yep, he's fully walling up his ramp, make sure there's no scouts. Reynor claims a third, which is what we expect to see. Reynor went for a standard build, so he needs a third base. Meanwhile, Lambo is intentionally staying on 2 bases. As we mentioned before, he cannot defend his third. And he should be skipping link speed. But he's not. So we should be seeing Lambo bank up links. We should be seeing him bank them up for a link flood. Now, Reynor's doing the correct thing. Because Reynor sees that there's no third base, in his mind, it should be 2-base play and 2-base roach or 2-base muta, and this should not be link speed, as we've been trying to emphasize. Like, link speed should not be here. Because of that, there's no Baneling Nest. Intentionally so. Reynor's like, I don't need a Baneling Nest. He's not making Zerglings. He's going into roaches. So it'd be a waste. It'd be inefficient to get a nest here. That's why Reynor's skipping the nest and going into a roach warren. Meanwhile, as we tried to emphasize, Lambo is intentionally banking and hiding all these lings for a massive link flood. He gets in! Oh, the Reynor, he gets in. That should not have happened. He gets in. He confirms. And we have to pull the trigger. Yeah, we have to pull the trigger here. Lambo, he does rush across the map. Lambo, can he break the third? Can he break the expansion? Queens, they push forward. Reynor, he's making his own Zerglings. Hatchery's getting low. Lambo trying to collapse in. He does have the higher link counts, but the Queens do add a lot of support. Yeah, the Queens are supporting, and Reynor holds. Oof, Reynor, he does hold on. He deflects Lambo. Ay, ay, ay. Lambo, he was so committed to this, and it did not pay off. Yeah, it did not pay off in the end. And that means Lambo's behind. Lambo, he's behind, and no, he may even just lose the third. Ay, ay, ay. I mean, it's already late. It's late to begin with. It's gonna go down. Better fight for Reynor, better concave. Oh, that's a kill! Oh, no. GG. GG gets called, and Reynor takes game number 1. GG, well played. A cheeky build here by Lambo, cheeky mind game, winding it back. Remember, Lambo, he went for a 15-15, he went for a late gas geyser, but he tried to hide it. He intentionally went for a late gas geyser, trying to make it look like he was going 2-base roach, trying to catch his opponent off guard with a massive link flood, but Reynor got in. Reynor, he was able to slip into the bases. He was also playing it safe. He had time to react. He pushed his queens forward. He saved his third. That was game. That was game then and there. That link flood needed to do more damage. With it failing to do damage, it meant that he lost map control, and it meant that he could not save his third. There was no saving that third base, not without any kind of setup, not without banelings, not without roaches. GG. GG, well played. Lambo in the end gets punished, and now we're getting into game number 2. Going to be loading into Winter Madness. Let's go. Let us go. A much larger map in the map pool. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the German Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Shopify. Down in the series, we'll see if he mounts back. It is Lambo. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Zerg player. The red Zerg player, the Italian Zerg with Basilisk. It is Reynor. So I'm just catching up with the YouTube chat. Sorry, I've been a little bit engrossed in the casting. I'm at the age where I've admitted I'm not good at doing the gaming myself anymore. I mean, if you're in reference to StarCraft, like StarCraft for the most part is a spectator sport. For better or for worse, like the vast majority of people that watch StarCraft do not play StarCraft. So it's fine. Like, it's okay, papi. It's okay. It is a difficult game, for sure. It's difficult. Can enjoy it from afar. Like the majority of people that view StarCraft. Nothing wrong with that. At this level, Terran should never lose if they get 3 bases. That is a big misconception regarding ZBT. 3 bases is very standard. It's very normal. Yeah, I'm curious as to what kind of content you've been exposed to come to that conclusion, because that is not correct. That is, yeah, 3 ECC is standard in ZBT. I would say that I would push back against that and say that the 4th base is more crucial for the Terran play, and if they can establish the 4th, then they get a massive lead. This is in regards to ZBT. And often Zerg players have to fight for the 4th. That's why, if you remember, in that final game between Lambo and Maru, Lambo was fighting hard to make sure the 4th base was not saturated and was not mining freely. So I would say that you're a little bit misguided in that opinion, that it's not necessarily about the 3rd, it's about the 4th base. Like that's like a big power spike for the Terran. in most matchups. Meanwhile, fast evo chamber. Ooh, okay, cheeky move here. I don't know if you noticed this, but no link speed. Basically, I believe this should be +1 melee into link speed lined up with each other. Lambo is going for a link flood. So it's going for a link flood, a big all in at a Lambo. It's a different variation than what we saw last time. Now, the way this works is you begin with +1 melee, and then you get link speed, and it's lined up. Because melee does take longer to produce, longer to actually finish as the upgrade. So these two upgrades will line up with each other. And it should be a big link flood here by Lambo. Now, once again, it is paramount that Lambo denies the scout. He failed to deny the scout last time, and you can even see here he has the drone in position. He has to make sure that Reynor doesn't see. Right now, just like last time, Reynor has no baleen nest. Just like last time, there's no reason for a baleen nest. Lambo, he's confirming there's no third base. So once again, theoretically, in ZBZ, if there is no third, that means it should be 2-base roach. It should be 2-base lair. It should be 2-base play. So you don't want to waste your resources on a baleen nest. We can see that Lambo's trying to work with that and try to metagame his opponent and try to abuse the fact that Reynor should not have a nest. Now we're rolling up. Again, this is just for show. And we should soon be starting to bank up those lings. Should be banking them up. Now, this time the wall is solid, and I believe this time Reynor should not get into the natural. So here we go. Again, the lings are banking. Here more lings. As we mentioned before, +1 melee and link speed, they're lined up with each other. And it's soon going to be all or nothing for Lambo. Reynor back at home, he's droning. Oof, he's droning up quite heavily here, taking gases. Reynor, here he comes. Yeah, now he knows. Now Reynor knows, but it's a late realization, a late scout for Reynor. The pants are down. He evacuates. He just gives up on the third base. He pulls away. He needs the wall. Oh, it's a late wall. Late wall. Late. We have low HP. Lings, they hit the third base, but it's not about the third. It's about the natural. It's about Reynor. Can Lambo kill? Roaches are amassing. Reynor going for the counterattack. Bold move. They'll slip away. They'll slip by. So far, the wall here is solid. Oh no! Oh, Queen gets surrounded. Yeah, Reynor getting a little bit too cavalier there. Does get caught. Does get surrounded. Another Queen is getting low. There's no transfuse. And Reynor, he will lose a second Queen. Roach gets surrounded as well. At the same time, Reynor does get across the map for a counterattack. These lings, they've achieved a lot of damage so far. Catching at 2 queens, a roach and the expansion. Back at home, roaches, they defend. And remember, Lambo has not made a drone. He has not droned in minutes. Like, behind this is going for a roach all in. Went for the link flood into the roach follow-up. He has not been droning, not taking gases, no nothing. Meanwhile, Reynor, he's still droning and still taking up into mutas. Right now, he needs roaches. And he's going to get caught out. The pants are completely down. Here we go. The army gets seen. The army gets spotted. Now Reynor knows. He needs roaches more than anything. Yes, build up. There we go. There's a cancellation. He gets a refund. We got 5 more roaches on the way. Throws down a wall of spine crawlers as well. Good call. 2 more spine crawlers. He's rebuilding his roach horn in preparation to lose his roach horn as well. Smart move out of Reynor. Yeah, that warren is going to go down. Nice foresight. As things, they collapse in for this round. Yeah, nice round. Locks down the army. The Wilds. Oh my god, Wilds, they connect. And Lambo, it looks like he's done it. Yeah, Lambo has done it. Reynor was just too greedy. Reynor, he was just too greedy here in the follow-up. He believed that Lambo was macroing. That's why he got the Spire. That's why he droned up. That's why he teched up. And GG gets called, and Lambo ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Again, Lambo doing a much better job at hiding the all-in this time. He was able to hide the all-in. He was able to keep it hidden from Reynor. Reynor also, because I would imagine, he believed that that Lambo would not all-in 2 games in a row, he was also a little bit more careless and a little more a little more greedy here, just droning, saturating, taking up as well, taking extra gases. Like Reynor was so greedy this game without confirming what was going on, and he got punished for it. In the end, did get punished, and now we're getting to game number 3. Let's go. We're getting into the ace match. I play StarCraft. Will I try? I mean, yeah. It's still, of course, enjoyable to play, but like I guess what I'm saying is I'm understanding for those that maybe don't necessarily delve into StarCraft themselves. We're 12 pulling, by the way. In the bottom right hand corner here of 10,000 feet, we have the German Zerg player. We have the red Zerg representing Shopify going for the 12 pool. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Zerg player, the Italian Zerg representing Basilisk, going for a standard opener. It is Reynor. Oh, I say standard. My apologies. He's going for... I was going to say 15-15. Just never mind. Going for the initial drone. Going for the initial 15. Does go for the hatchery. He may go for a pool before gas. We'll see if Reynor goes for a slightly safer variation. We'll see. Oh, this is not a regular 12 pool. I didn't see the timing of the gas. My apologies. Was 12-11? This might have been a 12-11 here, but again, so the pool timing is the same as a 12 pool. That is true, but the gas follow-up is meant to catch its opponent off guard. So very quickly here, just to explain the build. A 12 pool is not an all-in. A 12 pool is it is an early Ling timing, but it is not an all-in. So because of that, Reynor should be having a relatively lax defense. Reynor should be pulling the boys, right? So there are some mind games going on here. With this Ling timing, Lambo, he wants to force Reynor to pull the boys to defend his natural, and then bam, he's gonna get caught off guard by the early gas and by the Baneling Nest. Remember, there's no Ling speed. There's a very cheeky variation going into gas, going to the Baneling Nest. These Banelings are gonna be they're going to be a surprise here for Reynor. And Lambo wants Reynor to pull the boys. And Reynor should. So Lings have arrived. Yep, the boys are being pulled. He's forcing this kind of defense. Baneling Nest is just now finishing, and where are the Banelings? We have to get them ready. There we go. Banelings are morphing in. And again, Lambo, he wants to lure the... Oh my god. he wants to force a fight out in the open. Oh no, does he see? Gee, I don't think he did. I don't think he saw the Banelings, not yet. Again, here they come. Yeah, Banelings are revealed. Reynor has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. And we're holding onto the Banelings so far. Zoning back the Lings. Yeah, Ling's going to be zoned away. Getting himself with the Spine Crawler. So far, good zoning with the Banelings. Ooh, there's the first connection. But the second Baneling gets targeted. Yeah, second Baneling gets targeted here. The Queens are now out. And now we have 2 Queens, and that means Reynor holds. Yeah, Reynor, he does hold, he does defend. That again, if Lambo was able to force a fight with those drones and connect with the Banelings and actually engage here in the low ground, like that could have been game. It was close. It was close, but Reynor, he comes down with the Queens, he defends his natural, and Reynor, he will hold. Meanwhile, Lambo back at home is now taking his very late expansion and droning. I mean, I think that's just game. I'll be honest. Like like that he had to kill Lambo. He had to kill then and there. Lambo is so far behind. The soup is lying to you. Like right now, the supplies are close, but the timing of the base is brutal. Like Reynor just has so much larva. He just has so much larva to work with in comparison. So Reynor can drone off that much faster. So Reynor, he's droning faster. On top of that, remember, Lambo, he didn't rush into early link speed or anything like that. So much later link speed here by Lambo. He's pulling back into gas. That is interesting to me. So this makes sense. Lambo knows he's behind, right? Like, I'm like, oh, this is rough. Lambo, he's also saying, oh, this is rough. Lambo is in a really rough position. The fact that he's still mining gas here tells me that he's most likely going for a Bane bust. There's no reason to mine this much gas this quickly this early on. Like, especially with such a low economy. We have a third hatchery on the way. In my mind, this will just be for larva. We'll see. We'll see if Lambo does try to wall up and wall off and go for a lair. But in my mind, it's going to be aggression out of Lambo. especially after a 12 pull, because it's very common after a failed 12 pull to skip link speed because your gas is so limited. He cancels. Oh. I mean, I said it was very common to skip link speed. He cancels link speed, pulls out of gas. He's gonna macro. Without link speed, there's no all-in. Yep, there's no all-in. He gets the refund. He's going for the lair. This feels a little bit indecisive out of Lambo, I'll be honest. Like, if he never wanted to go into link speed, we would have seen a much faster lair, right? The lair would have been much faster instead. And we would not have as much excess gas either. So this feels very messy out of Lambo. It feels like he was a little bit indecisive. He changed his mind. And now we're going into a later lair, and we're going to try to macro out of this. Meanwhile, here comes Reynor. Here comes Reynor going for the third. There are some banelings to defend. Likewise, Reynor moving in. Let's be careful. Oh my god. Does pull away. Baits out one of the banelings. Baits out one of the... he gets one. But it's taking a long time here to deal with these banelings. Gets a second. There's one left. And one baneling remaining. Ooh, at the same time, he gets into the natural. 12 drones go down. Lambo was already behind. And Lambo, he was distracted. I was distracted. Ay, ay, ay. The distraction was real. Banelings, they raise the army. And with that, Reynor's looking very comfortable. And Reynor could just drone. He can just drone up, but for now he's making roaches. Making wave of roaches. Behind this, do you see what I see? No lair. There is no lair. That is intentional. Reynor, he may just commit here into a hatch tech all-in. Because his lair is very late. But he takes his gases. Taking gases, okay, yeah. He takes his gases, so he's going for his lair. So it's going to be a very late tech here for Reynor. That is the one advantage that Lambo has, is earlier lair and earlier roach speed, and potentially earlier spire, right? Like this lair tech, it can be useful. There's a chance, there's some opportunity, some. God. Never mind, Lambo, he gives up on the third. Yeah, the third base is going to go down. Lambo, he has no roaches, he has no army. Oh no! Didn't miss the lings. Expansion goes down. And at this point, Lambo, he has to be forced into an all-in. Back at home, I would hope that Reynor isn't too greedy, right? Like Reynor, he knows he just killed a base, so there's no need to fully saturate. He is taking his gases. He's droning up to 66. That is full three-way saturation. So very greedy here from Reynor. Sorry, very greedy from Reynor. He just fully drones up on 3 bases. I would say he does not need a fourth. Just make roaches back. He's even getting a Hydra den. I mean, the den makes sense. I don't think he plans on making Hydras, but this is in case it was a Spire, right? Like, he doesn't know right now. There could be a hidden Spire behind this. So mutas could be an issue. Lambo trying to force his way in. Nice baiting connection there for Reynor. And nice connection. It is going to be a close hold here as Roaches, they push forward, they get on top of the Ravagers, but with defender's advantage, Reynor holds. Yeah, Reynor, he does hold on. The Queens arrive as well. I mean, it's all or nothing for Lambo. What else can he do, Pappy? It's all or nothing. We do have some Roaches getting picked off, but there's no chance to use that. But GG gets called. There are just too many defensive Roaches, and Reynor will claim the series 2-1, advancing on into the playoffs. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Congratulations here to Reynor for claiming the series. Lambo, he had an interesting build. Again, I really liked the opener. Remember, he went for a 12 pull into hidden and early gas geyser into a cheeky, like, early 2 banelings, which almost caught Reynor off guard. Remember, we spoke about it. Like, the goal there was to lure down the drones, to force him to fight in the low ground, and then bam, catch him off guard with the banelings. But as soon as Reynor saw those banelings, he got the hell out of there. He pulled back, he threw down his spine crawler, masked up his lings, and we saw that Lambo, he was trading decently, but he didn't get the damage he was hoping for. As you mentioned, like, he was all in, like, he needed more damage. He had to deal some kind of economic damage specifically, but he failed to do so. failed to do so, and then it was just a rocky follow-up from there. Like, there were maybe some opportunities here and there for like an all-in, but Lambo tried to macro out of it and was a little bit indecisive as well, is what I will say. If you remember, like, he was getting link speed, then he cancelled, then he got a lair. Like, it was a little bit indecisiveness there. Indecisiveness from Lambo. GG, well played, but a cheeky opener and a cheeky build nonetheless. And with that, Reynor, he does make it through. He does advance on into the playoffs. Congratulations here to Reynor. But yo, Lambo's been a beast tonight. Yeah, let's catch up on the bracket, pappy. Here we go. As a reminder, this is a GSL group. It's a GSL format group here. We initially had Reynor versus Creator. Reynor did take that series 2-0 to advance on into the winners match. Lambo took down Maru. That was crazy, pappy. He took down Maru 2-1. We saw Maru being very greedy in the first 2 games. We saw Maru embracing mech in game 3 as well, and Lambo was able to shut him down. Very impressive play there by Lambo. And even here against Reynor, Lambo, he forced the ace match. Like, I could definitely see some of these. I mean, it was very mind game heavy, right? It's like every game had purpose. Every game was cheeky in their own way. A hyper aggression of Lambo. Game 1, he went for a hidden link flood. Game 2, he went for a +1 more committed link flood. Here in game 3, he went for the 12 pool with the early gas as well. Like, it was, again, a very, very intentional builds here from Lambo, and he was tripping Reynor up at least a little bit. Was tripping up. But GG well played. With that, we have 2 series left here tonight. We have the elimination match that is going to be the best of 3 between Creator and Maru to confirm the first player to be knocked out of Group A, and then we have the decider match to confirm who will join Reynor in the playoffs. Will it be Lambo or the winner of Creator and Maru? Oh boy. So we have 2 matches remaining, 2 series left. For now, though, we are again just over the halfway mark in the broadcast. We're going to be cutting to a short break. Just catching up. But yes, we're going to be cutting to a short break, and when we come back, we'll have our next series, we'll have our next matchup. We'll see you soon. I see in the chat, could Reynor have noticed that Lambo didn't have link speed while he was dealing with Lambo's lings, and maybe figured out the bailing plan? No. So just to, before we cut to a break, just to very quickly explain the build, 12 pools. The reason why the banelings were a surprise is because a 12 pool, which is what Lambo went for, and which is the timing that Lambo hit, typically do not have gas. So Reynor, he would not be expecting link speed or banelings. Like, neither one of those should be there, which is why this build was as creative as it was to catch Reynor off guard with the banelings. Again, Reynor didn't realize that there were any banelings until he saw them. Then he got the hell out of there. Then he pulled away. Then he reacted. Here we go. It's all good. It's all good. Make some. Cool to see Lambo make some noise against Snobrax. Yeah, for sure. Like, Lambo, he's a really smart player, especially in ZVZ. I mean, there's a reason why he coached Reynor, right? Even though Lambo maybe mechanically is weaker than Reynor, like, the mind is there, Pappy. The mind is there. For sure. But with that, we're going to be cutting to a short break. And when we come back, we'll have our next series. We'll have Creator versus Maru. We'll see you soon. See you soon after the break. Oh. And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed that lovely Brood War OST as we returned. We returned here with the second half of the broadcast with the elimination match. We just wrapped up with the winners match and Reynor, who was the first player to make it through into the playoffs out of Group A. And now we're here to determine which player is going to be the first to be eliminated from the tournament and out of LiuLi Cup Grand Finals. Let's go. Let us go. Up next, we have our TVP. Game 1 is going to be on White Rabbit as we jump into Maru versus Creator. Let's go. Let us go. Again, two good friends going to be facing off against each other. Both Maru and Creator, they were, of course, they rose to the ranks many years ago back on Prime, and of course later did rejoin forces back on Jin Air. Again, they're both good friends. They both do hang out quite often as well, and it's a bit of a shame that they have to knock each other out here. It's bittersweet, but here we go. Spawning in the bottom left hand corner of White Rabbit, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the South Korean Protoss player, the red Protoss. It is Creator. Here we go. We are here, we are back, we are jumping into our best of 3, and we'll see how Maru has been adjusting his matchups here. Always I will say the exciting thing about Maru is that because he's so inactive, it can be difficult getting a read on his current form and his current style and his current rate of play. Last time we covered him, of course, was during the previous big event, was during I believe Thunderfire. As I believe he was not in sorry, not Thunderfire. Actually, no, yeah, it was back in Thunderfire, and of course in Rongi Cup as well, and in the RSL offline finals. So we've actually had quite a bit of Maru as of late. When it comes to his TVP, he has been very aggressive, he's been very assertive, he's been very in the face of his opponents. I will say that, I mean, we've been seeing a bit of everything, really. If you recall, Maru had a best of 7 against Hero, where they went all the way to game 7 with a lot of aggression and some macro as well, depending on the map, of course. Welcome to White Rabbits. White Rabbit is one of the larger maps in the map pool, larger map, longer rush distance by ground. I can definitely see Maru taking a bit of a slower approach here, setting up on 3 and then 4 bases. But we'll see. We'll keep an eye on our players. So far, double gas opener, faster factory, a more tech heavy start out of Maru. Is going to be a more tech heavy start. When it comes to Creator's preferred style, when it comes to PvT, it is often very mid-game oriented as well. We often do see we even see like robo-based openers, which is crazy. I don't think anyone does that nowadays, but like Phoenix Colossus, robo-based openers, fast Colossi, like this more robust ground style, we have seen quite a bit more of out of Creator, more so than other players. Ooh, as the SV does find the probe, Reaper's on the hunt. He wants that worker. And cooling the probe means that there's no second scout. Oh, yeah, there we go. Does notice. Does take note and take that. Does take note. Does hunt down. Probe does fall. Behind this, we're going Reaper into add-ons. Okay, so it looks like we're not going into Reactor Reaper Hellion. We're going for the Tech Lab on the factory instead, into Cyclone production. I'm assuming early Cyclone. Meanwhile, we have our tech of choice from Creator opening up Twilight Council. So Twilight Council opener leading into most likely Blink. There are some charge-based openers, but that makes more sense on smaller maps. So it's going to be opening up Blink instead. At the same time, nice delay. Adept does poke in. Delays the CC. So Creator, he can apply pressure at least until the Cyclone arrives. He also scouts the add-ons. He also confirms the Tech Lab and the Reactor. So he knows that there's no Reaper Hellion, and is aware of the early Cyclone. So Creator pulls away. He pulls out, he pulls away. Oh! And catching the Reaper. And one shot away from going down. Can he commit? Can he get him? Oh, he can! Oh my god, very close. Reaper does fall. Nice pick off there by Creator. Maru trying to punish. And from that early Cyclone, not going for the add-on swap, we could have seen an add-on swap into Banshee play, but no, it's going to be early tank into an early push. So we have the medevac in production, and it looks like it might be a medevac into a Viking. If so, Maru is going to be hyper aggressive here in the early game. Yep, he is. So we have another tank on the way. We're going to be pushing here and now, and I believe this medevac may actually stay back home to actually pick up and boost that second tank across the map. Nah, he just moves out. Okay, he does move out. As I mentioned, yep, there's that Viking follow-up. You might be looking at this and be thinking, hold up, why is there a Viking on the way? Landed Viking actually does add a lot of DPS, a lot of damage output with this push. Again, this is hyper committed, hyper aggressive in the early game here. Now we confirm as well the reasoning as to why we did see the double gas opener was for faster tank production, for the faster tank push, for the all-in. You can pull the boys with this as well. You can pull the boys. We do have Creator. He is going 3-gate blink into a robo, into a third. This is a very safe build by Creator. He's already getting safety immortals, and Creator hasn't really seen much. Remember, what he saw earlier was just from the Adept. Like, Creator, he has no idea what's coming his way, but he hunts down the medevac. That should not have happened. Medevac goes down. Maru, what? He'll lose the medevac. The build itself is favoring Creator. So far, everything's looking decent here. Creator just has to identify the build. Like, remember, Creator, he does not know what's coming his way. Not yet. Now he sees. Now he knows. Yeah, Creator, he does spot the push. He does spot the push. Does spot the Viking. He knows. He's fully aware as to what's going on. More defensive weapons back at him. The boys are being pulled. The all-in is upon us. And the game will end. Either Maru kills Creator or he dies trying, and he does get a Stalker. He gets two. Two Stalkers go down, and brutal losses there for Creator. Maru, he commits. Oh, and these are panic shield batteries. Yeah, panic batteries out of Creator. He needs more time. He's got a couple of force fields. And does catch the Cyclone at least. Yeah, Cyclone goes down. Tanks are sieging. They're getting within range of the batteries. Yeah, tanks are moving in. They are now within range. They're forcing the engagement. The battery does not keep the Immortal alive, and with that, Maru, he's doing it. Yeah, Maru, he has broken through. He takes out one of the Immortals. There's one Immortal left. Massive tank volleys. First tank does barely go down. Yeah, it gets one tank, but there are still 3 tanks left over. Yeah, heavy tank army. Oh, he mules to repair. He's topping up the Vikings. The tanks are not quite within range of the robo yet, but they're getting there. Yeah, they're slowly getting there. The boys are being pulled. Massive dive on top of the tanks. He gets one. He gets one. He gets two. Oh, he gets all 3. Wow, nice cleanup. He takes out all 3 tanks. GG gets called. The all-in fails. The all-in does fail. And Creator, he barely does hold. He takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. I thought with those 3 tanks sieging up and getting within range of the batteries was going to be too much, but no, Creator, he pulled the boys. He dove on those tanks with the help of those 2 Immortals as well. Remember, he had 2 Immortals left over. He was able to barely focus down those tanks in time. GG. Whew, GG, well played. Creator, he shuts down the all-in, and now Creator is 1 game away from claiming the series, as I would imagine we're going to be seeing another all-in here. Oh boy. Up next, we're loading into Tourmaline. Tourmaline is a very small map in the map pool, short rushes and spy ground. We do expect aggression here, but after the failed all-in, do we go for it again? Winding it back again, Creator, thankfully he did blindly go 3-gate blink into a robo. He went for a very, very safe build. We were emphasizing that. We were also emphasizing the fact that we had early Immortal production out of Creator blindly as well, without being fully aware as to what was going on. Just really safe play out of Creator did help with the defense with those earlier Immortals than what should be the case. But let's go. Spawning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. Down in the series, can he bounce back? It is Maru. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have as opponent, we have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself. It is a Creator. Here we go. Now, I would not be surprised if Creator goes to the same build. 3-gate blink. 3-gate blink into the robo on 2 bases would make a lot of sense, especially on Tourmaline. We'll see if he does play it safe, as once again, Maru is going double gas. Now, remember, last game it was double gas opener into a faster factory, into the earlier Cyclone and tank production, into the 2-base all-in. This doesn't have to be a 2-base all-in. This can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion. This can lead into early Cyclones, into Banshee play. Maru has options. He's got a lot of options here. We'll see what kind of path he goes down. Meanwhile, we can see Creator scouts for proxies. He does check the 3rd locations just to be safe. Just to be safe. So you're waiting for our tech of choice. We get our probe scouts. Creator, he will be able to get eyes on the timing of the factory. Pokes up the ramp. Factory's in production. Now he knows. So Creator, he's now fully aware of the double gas opener. Again, this can lead into Reactor Reaper Hellion. It can lead into Proxy Starport, for example, into Hellion drop. Can lead into Banshees. Oh, hello. Here it's going to be a much earlier tech lab. So this is a different build. Remember, what did we see last game? Last game it was a reactor, then into tech lab. Here it's tech lab first, which means we can go into an add-on swap into a much earlier cyclone to defend the expansion. Yep, there's the add-on swap, there's the cyclone. Meanwhile, tile accounts are open out to Creator. Maru's just being very safe. He's being much, much safer this time. Adeptus moving out. Probe does confirm the 111. This probe scout also confirms that there is no proxy starport. So big scout here also confirms lack of reactor. So Creator getting a lot of information there. You can see the Reaper trying to intercept the probe. But Creator, he's here to just, yeah, to babysit. He's here to ferry that probe back home. Let's go. And again, Creator, he knows that the Adept has no use across the map because of the early cyclone. Remember, he scouted, so he knew that a cyclone was coming. So he just gets the hell out of there, saves the Adept, and saves the probe. Behind this, do you see what I see? I see a robo on 2 bases. I see an extra gateway as well. So far, it's 2 gate blink. And we should be seeing a 3rd gateway. Yeah, safety battery. I mean, I say that technically Creator from here can just expand. Like, he was able to get enough vision across the map. Do you see what I see though? 111. You get the early drop. So we're going for the early mine drop. Now you might be looking at this and be thinking, it's only a single Widow Mine. Is there much damage that's going to be done? Well, no, Widow Mines aren't meant to get damage. Like, mine drops are designed not for damage, they're designed for scouting. It's a way to get across the map early, is to get into the bases, to see the tech, to count the gateways, and to confirm what exactly the Protoss is up to. So this is just for scouting purposes. Economic damage is just a bonus if you get any, but you shouldn't expect any. Jesus, okay. Medevac does boost towards the natural. Spots all these stalkers, spots the robo. And I believe we'll confirm the lack of 3rd. Yeah, so no 3rd base here on the right hand side. Jesus, we're staying on 2 bases for a long time here. It's going to be not just 3 gate blink into a robo, but into a bay into Colossus production before expanding. So very 2 base heavy play here by Creator. Very late 3rd. And Maru, he's aware. Maru doesn't know why the 3rd is late, but he just knows it is. So Maru should not push. He's getting a 3rd CC. Good call. Now remember, one of the reasons why the all-in failed last game from Maru is because Maru was blindly going for the all-in, didn't know what was going on. Here he scouts, he sees that his opponent is staying on 2 bases, is being hyper turtly and hyper safe, which means Maru knows, okay, like an all-in won't work here, let's expand. Let's expand to get a 3rd CC, build up into the mid game. And again, he wasn't even setting up for an all-in anyway. Creator bigs up 4 CVs, not bad. At the same time, auto turret into the main. Oh, let's get the 2nd turret. Nice target firing. Getting another probe. Almost a stalker. Denying mining time. And the Mydra comes back in. Creator, does he react in time? Oh, Jesus. He does. Nice retargeting. Very nice retargeting here. Delaying so much mining time. Oh my god. Creator, he just wants to mine. The retarding continues, pappy. Oh my god. Yeah, it does continue. Still no mining. Oh, catching 3 probes at the end as well. Very nice damage. 3 workers and so much less mine time at the natural. Maru, I'm sure he's very happy. He even escapes with the medevac. does get out. Hey, Maru, calm down. He's a speedy boy. Behind this, remember, he's expanding. Third CC is going to be on the way with Stim, Combat Shields, all the upgrades. Creator, he, of course, is aware with the Observer. He does see the third command center. So Creator knows he needs a fourth. His fourth base is late. By now, the fourth base should already be on the way. But the reason why the fourth is late is because the third is late, is because of the fast Colossus, which isn't really coming into play. Like, Colossus are great and all if he was up against an all-in, if he was up against something more aggressive. But he's not.
Add-on complete.
Okay, catching out 3 more probes. Ooh, punishing the Stalkers. And this time Maru is just all over Creator. Now, Maru, has he seen the Colossus themselves? He did. Okay, he saw the bay. Okay, he saw the bay, he saw it researching, so he knows. I believe the correct thing from here to do is just claim the third, turtle up, get a sensor tower, missile turrets, get a 4th CC, get a planetary. Yep, you can see the turret's already on the way. Because of the fast Colossus and because of the delayed economy from Creator, technically the correct thing to do as a Terran player, and as he sees the Colossus, the correct thing is just to turtle up, gain an economic lead, and just extend that lead and max out. Remember, Creator sacrifices economy for the army, so just take that away from Creator. Drop into the main, catching a couple of probes, getting a Stalker, getting a Zealot. Ooh, we'll lose the full Metamax, so a costly drop here for Maru. But does 9 mining, 4 probe kills, a couple of units here and there. It's not bad. Bearing in mind that Maru is ahead economically. There's that 4th command center. 4th CC is on the way. And Maru should not be pushing. He should not push out anytime soon. Take this, if you're in the chat, take this time, get some snacks, get some food. Get ready to settle in. Never mind, I say that, but Creator's gonna be the one that pushes. Okay. So Creator is moving out. This does make sense. Remember, Creator, he's behind economically. He has to use this army. Like, he has to use it in some way. Otherwise, what was the point of the entire build, right? So he's posturing, warping in some Zealots, and can he break this position? There's gonna be 6 tanks. Jesus. Sorry, 7. 7 tanks are in position. The boys are being pulled. It dies in the first 2. And does get 2. 2 tanks go down. Vikings A zone away. It's a decent start for Creator. It's a decent start catching out those first 2 tanks. At the same time, Zealots get shut down. And the Creator, he needs more. He needs to find more damage here. But again, this is a very entrenched position. And Creator pokes in, he pulls away, forced to expand and get a 5th base. And Maru has successfully defended. And remember, Maru, he has no reason to push. Like, it's all just about turtling. Just turtle up, get your 3rd, now work on your 4th expansion. And once Maru gets his 4th base, he can max out. He can max out, he can start to perfect his army. And things are gonna be looking rough for Creator. At this point, Creator, he has to fight his heart out to make sure this 4th base is delayed. He has to delay the 4th for as long as possible. Even if he trades inefficiently, like, we gotta go. We can't just let the Terran expand like this. So to 4 Colossi. Stalkers A run into the tanks. Creator's gonna be collapsing in. Nice armor shred. Oof. It does deny the armor. Shred the armor even. Creator, he's going to be deflected. Again, he needs to find some damage here. Whether it's denying the 4th base or breaking the 3rd, he has to deny one of these 2 expansions. He's rotating down to the 3rd. Maru, he doesn't see this with the... Now he does. Now he sees it with the turrets. With the sensor tower. The SimCity here is brutal. You can see the wall here ensures that the tanks are safe. And Maru defends. And this is looking bleak. This is looking bleak now for Creator. Creator is now switching to disruptors. He needs to. We have a second robo on the way, double disruptor production. Maru, he's now going into +2 ship weapons. Ghost, fusion core, that's going to be for Liberator range, for mass Liberator production as well. So Maru's army is just getting better and better over time. It's just getting better, and soon we'll be surpassing Creator. Now Creator, he has to make a choice. He has to make a choice here, and it's a hard one to make. Either you accept the fact that you just are going to be in a really rough position, you have to kind of work with this more ground-based inefficient army, and try to trade as much as you can and fight as much as you can and make use of that greater bank, or throw down a fleet beacon. Throw down a fleet beacon, stargates, and get ready for Tempest. It's a really hard decision to make, just because going into Tempest is a very slow style. It's a very slow style that no one really enjoys playing. On top of that, transitioning into an actual decent Tempest count, it takes time. It takes time to get up to 3, 6, up to 9 Tempest, to get your oracles up, to get your upgrades going, to get your mothership as well. It does take time. So typically, best case scenario for switching into Skytoss is doing it early or doing it when you have momentum. The problem is that Creator, he's missing that window. Yeah, this is late. He's thinking about it. Now we see the Stargate. This is a Stargate after the Gateway explosion. Like, it feels very late. It feels very, very late here. And this is the first sign of Skytoss. Stargate, then the Fleet Beacon, then extra Stargates. But it's going to take so long for this to come online. Missile goes up. Nice connection. Notice they break one of the tanks. Just the one. Oh. We get a decent run by here. Getting 3 tanks. Not bad. 3 tanks go down. Gets on the Liberators. Getting 1 of the Liberators as well. Very nice trades here for Creator. Yeah, nice trades. Nice pickups. Ooh, there's the Fleet Beacon. Now, the reality is that Maru should be pushing before their Skytoss. I don't know if you noticed, but we did call this at the beginning of the game, because the correct thing to do for Maru is just get further ahead economically and defend and turtle up. Maru, he's been slowly refining his army, maxing out, building up Ghosts, building up Vikings, building up Liberators. Once he gets a decent Liberator count out, then Maru can finally push for the first time. And when he pushes, boy, is it going to be a push. Like, it's going to be crazy. Nice run by. Very nice Zealot run by. This is the downside of Liberators, of course. They take a long time to deal with Zealots. So nice Zealot run by. Creator, he's finding damage. He's pushing towards the left-hand side as well. He's getting into the mineral line. Can he break down the planetary? Not quite. The window doesn't connect. And no major connections here. 13 SCVs do go down, though. Again, that was a very nice run by. This is what Creator needs to do. He needs more damage like this to just whittle away at the army. Oh, a little bit ambitious, pushing through the center. There's now the second Stargate. Creator rotates, and Maru has time to respond to the rotation. Liberation has arrived. That's a lot of freedom. It's a lot of liberation, and again, the Creator cannot push into this. He cannot push into all these Liberators. What he can do, though, is try to outposition and try to find a more exposed location. Tempest production has begun. But as I mentioned, Maru should be pushing before there are Tempest. And here he comes. Here comes that push. Oh boy. And I don't know if Creator can stop this. I'll be honest. Creator, he's heavily reliant on the Novas. If the Novas connect well, then he can hold. But it's all about those Novas. Jesus, he's up to 12, so to be 14 Liberators. Oh god. And this is the issue here, is that once you get up to this many Liberators, the problem is that the Disruptor can't get close enough. The Disruptor cannot get close enough to Nova. We're sitting in first round. Never mind. Yeah, the flank gets spotted. You can see here, yeah, the Liberators, they just zone away the Disruptors. Army comes from behind, gets 1 Liberator. Gets 2. 2 go down, Maru pushing in. Armor Shred goes off. Catching out the Colossus. Vikings, they give chase. Creator coming in from behind, getting another Liberator. Tries to get one more. But he cannot push up this ramp. It's not going to happen. The base goes down. And Creator is getting torn apart. Maru, he commits in. Diving on the Colossus. He gets one. He gets one. He gets two Colossus. There's one left. And Creator's going to lose everything. Yeah, he's going to lose everything here. Losing the final Tempest, or the only Tempest. The Liberators are repositioning. The nuke here is going to zone. Oh my god, the nuke! He's crazy. And I don't think he notices. Oh, he does. Okay, he does notice. Very clutch Novas. Catching out the Ghost. But these Liberators, they cover the retreats. They cover the backside here. So Maru, he can just stim in. He can just stim and he can win. He's getting himself the Robos. Massive depowering. The Atosis pylon goes down. Liberation is set up. Creator is forced to engage, forced to move in. And Liberation zones, they just go ham here. Tempest gets targeted. The Colossus, they rain down on the army though. That's a lot of lasers. A lot of lasers popping off. But everything's gonna go down. Jesus. The entire Protoss army just evaporates. GG gets called and Maru ties up the series 1-1. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Maru, he does claim game number 2. We're going to the ace match. Let's go. 6 base versus 4 base. As we tried to emphasize at the time, the win condition for Maru was to get a 4th. Once the 4th base gets up and running for the Terran, they can max out, they can perfect their army. The scary thing about what we just saw is that Maru actually got a 5th expansion, which should not be happening, but he got a 5th base, which is insane. And again, as we tried to emphasize, Creator was playing from behind the entire game. Creator, he chose to go for an inefficient start. He chose to go for a heavy Colossus opener, and he didn't make use of it. We were trying to emphasize that Creator's 3rd base was late, his 4th base was late. Creator was behind economically the entire game. He had to make use of his army, and he wasn't quite able to. He did get some SCVs, did kill some SCVs. He was able to kill 2 tanks, but it was not enough. It was not enough. And with that, we're now getting to game number 3. Going to be loading into 10,000 feet. No boy. But winding it back, I should also explain that one of the reasons why Creator went for such a Robo-heavy and Colossus-heavy start is because it looked like he was assuming that Maru was going to be more aggressive. It looks like he was just assuming aggression, and he was trying to hard counter that aggression that never came. So it was a bit of a misread there from Creator, or I don't know if I want to say misread or just unfortunately he gambled, right? He gambled a little bit with what Maru was going to do and gambled incorrectly. It just didn't quite work out his way. But here we go, spawning in the bottom right hand corner of 10,000 feet. We have the South Korean Terran player. We have the blue Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Protoss player, the red Protoss player himself. It is Creator. Here we go. Now, every game so far in this series, Maru has gone for a double gas opener. This time, for the first time, single gas. Single gas racks expand economic start out of our Terran player. So we're going for a greedier build. And welcome to 10,000 feet. 10,000 feet is a very small map in the map pool. Short rush distance by ground, aggression. I don't think I would say that aggression is favored here, but I would say that reinforcements are favored, or just it's a very swingy map. Basically, because the map is so small, if you take a good fight, bam, you can just counterattack, push, and break a base, right? Like, counterattacks hit so quickly because the distance between bases is so short. So that does put a lot of pressure on players. It does put a lot of pressure on the fringe bases. I believe that's off center. Creator being as annoying as possible, even forcing one of the SCVs down. From here we're building up. Just like last time, we do have an earlier tech lab here. Now this should be a tech lab for an add-on swap into Cyclone. Oh, actually, it's a little bit earlier. So this might be a Marauder opener instead. Ah no, there's the add-on swap. Okay, so we're going for the add-on swap, we're going for Cyclone. Adept has arrived. Just being as annoying as possible. Back at home is going to be a Twilight Council opener. Now, so far, every game we've seen very safe builds out of Creator. Game 1, we saw 3-gate Blink into a Robo before expanding. Game 2, we saw 3-gate Blink into a Robo into a Bay before expanding. This time, Creator, he is aware of the earlier CC. We should be seeing something greedier out of Creator instead. As the Adept does arrive. Oh, do you see what I see? That is a fast second Rax. So Maru, instead of going for a 1-1-1, he's going for a fast second Rax. This most likely will lead into a fast third Rax. Yep, fast eBay. There's the eBay. We should be seeing a third Rax as well. This looks like a 2-base all-in. This looks like an early stim timing with +1. So really fast upgrades here for really strong timing. What are we delaying in favor of this? No starport, right? The starport is missing, so there's no drop play, there's no medevac support, there's no Raven, there's no Banshee. So drops and any kind of momentum or anything on the map is going to be delayed in favor of the earlier stim and earlier bio setup. So very aggressive follow-up here by Maru, and he may pull the boys with this. He may just straight up commit into a 2-base all-in. Now, Creator, what's he up to? Oh my god, Creator's going 4-gate Blink. Okay. I'm torn. So, 4-gate Blink Stalker can be really strong in this position, kind of. It'd be really strong against the 3-racks. This is with the factory, though. Like, tanks are being produced. On top of that, we're on 10,000 feet. And what's the issue with 10,000 feet? Well, Stalkers and 4-gate Blink excels when you have a lot of mobility and a lot of maneuverability available in between the bases. The problem with 10,000 feet is that you can blink here into the main, but if you wanted to back off and rotate to the natural, you have to go so far around. Specifically, the terrain on this map has an extra wall, has all this terrain kind of walling this area off, which means Stalkers, they have to go the long way around to hit the natural. It means that the Terran player has more time to react, more time to respond, and more time to kind of maneuver their army. So 4-gate Blink, in my opinion, is weaker on 10,000 feet. On the flip side, because it's weaker, it's more unexpected, so that also is factored in as well, right? Like, Maru didn't scout. Maru, he sees nothing. Like, Maru, he has no idea what's going on. Right, he sees nothing, he knows nothing, but he has his army in position. He's got his 1 tank in the natural, 1 tank in the main. Yeah, he's ready in the main base. Meanwhile, Stalkers, they rotate over, and can he dive on the tank? Oh, it's an awkward rotation. Yeah, you can see here, it's very awkward rotation. Creator, he does not get in. He does not get into the main. Rotates over towards the natural. Diving on the bunker. Tank does punish. Bunker does go down. Yeah, it takes down the bunker, but doesn't really gain much ground here. Again, going 4-gate Blink, there's so much pressure on the Protoss to do more damage. Like, Creator, he needs to get the tank at least. Killing bunker's not good enough. There we go, he's going for the tank. He gets 1. 1 tank goes down. I believe it bleeds out 3 Stalkers. Oof. As that's going to be updated soon. Yeah, more Stalkers going to be falling. 6 Stalkers go down. Oof. That's a brutal trade. And remember, Stim is already done. So Maru, he can punish. He does. Another Stalker falls. Remember, Creator's third base is late. This is a very late third base for Creator. He needed more damage. Was able to catch 4 SCVs, cripple the economy. He was able to touch the economy a little bit here, able to slow it down. Hey, tank those volleys. He's going for the. He blinks in into Stim Marines. Oh god, yeah, this is not the play. He's gonna lose everything. He's gonna lose everything here. The Bio Army punishes. GG gets called, and Maru, he will claim the series 2-1, advancing on to the decider match. GG. GG, well played. Creator was in such a rough position there. Again, he chose to go 4-gate Blink Stalker, so there was so much pressure on Creator to be active and to be aggressive. Unfortunately for Creator, Maru went for an early stim build. Remember, Maru, he went for a late starport into early tech labs into early stim, which means that for every blink that Creator was pushing into and trying to dive on those tanks, he was being punished by the stimmed army, by the Marine Marauder stimming and just punishing those Stalkers time and time and time again. It is not normal for Stim to be done that early on, so it was almost like a build order win. I say almost like a build order win just because once creator realized what was happening, he probably needs to just back off. But it's damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he backs off, he falls behind. If he commits, he dies. Like, it was just a really rough position there. The reasoning for that is because, again, like, he was behind economically. Like, he had a really late third, so he had to find some damage there. There's a lot of pressure on creator. GG, well played. And with that, Maru does claim the series, does advance on, and we have our final matchup getting ready for us here. It is going to be a best of three between Maru and Lambo. It's going to be a rematch. Oh, good. It's going to be the rematch here. Un momento. So quickly set up our players. Here we go. Okay, it is going to be that ZVT. Game 1 is going to be on Winter Madness. Let's go. Again, Lambo did defeat Maru earlier in the tournament, earlier in the group, actually, in this very broadcast. Can he do it again? As spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Winter Madness, we have the German Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg. The blue Zerg player himself representing Shopify. It is Lambo. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the red Terran player. We have the South Korean Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. Let's go. Here we go. As we're getting to the final series of the group, the final series of the broadcast. Now, if you weren't here for the beginning of the broadcast, if you missed out on Lambo versus Maru, one, I recommend the VODs. I do recommend the VODs. We had some amazing games and some very intense back and forths. But Maru, he showcased a really unique build. Twice. He went for an insanely fast 3rd CC. He went for a very greedy build, and he was able to snowball out of control and excel in game 1. Then Lambo adapted and reacted with a much more aggressive follow-up in game 2, which did punish Maru. Maru was just too greedy. He was punished in game 2. In game 3, Lambo went for another roach all-in, and Maru was going into mech. Initially, he was stuck with a bunch of Hellions. He lost control of his natural, went into mech from there, and we saw that Lambo was hyper-aggressive, just ensuring that Maru could not get his 4th base up and running. Maru, he tried desperately to just expand, double expand, trying to maintain a hold onto that 4th base, but he was torn apart, and Lambo just ensured that Maru never had a solid economy. And it was a pretty long game. Eventually, Maru just ran out of resources. He was just broke. He was mined out of his main, he was mined out of his natural, and his 3rd base only had 4 patches remaining. Like Maru, he just had no economy. He just couldn't expand. But here we go. We are now getting into the rematch, and we'll see how Maru will adjust. Does he go for the greedier builds again? Does he go for the faster 3rd CCs? Does he go into mech? I wouldn't be surprised if we see mech at some point in the series, but eyes are on Maru. And now just a standard opener. And okay, already a big moment for Maru. Already going to be a big moment. That is going to be a factory before CC. I emphasize this just because in the first 2 games in the previous series, Maru, he was going for a 3rd CC before factory. So standard opener out of Maru. Reaper pokes in, threatens a mineral line. It shouldn't kill a drone. Oh, Jesus. Shouldn't kill a worker and doesn't. Does force out an Evo chamber and a gas geyser though, so it does force some resources to be spent. Oh, as Lambo goes for the forward 3rd? Oh. Okay. Interesting. Lambo, he pulls out a gas, getting link speed. This forward 3rd base is very aggressive. It's very exposed, and I feel like typically this is telegraphing that Lambo wants to go for an all-in at some point, and this might lead into roach play. Just because in a macro game, in a standard game, it's so difficult to maintain this low ground position. So I'm expecting roaches here out of Lambo, but we'll keep an eye on him. Now, yep, there it is. A roach one has been thrown down. Now, the problem is that if we can call roaches, so can Maru. Again, the big tell for the roaches was the expansion. Like, this base location screams roach all in. And I'm sure that Maru has that in the back of his mind as well. Opening up Hellion, going for a 1-1, sorry, going for a 3cc into 1-1-1 with Marauder follow-up with Vikings? Wait, what? Is he going for a Hellbat push? It's looking like 3cc Hellbat here. Eyes are open for an armory. Hellions they poke in. I mean, yeah, like no shot Maru believes already that an all-in is coming his way and that he's blindly getting ready for it with Marauder production. Yeah, concussive shell. And okay, yeah, Hellbat Marauder. Okay, now it makes more sense. So as we mentioned before, it's going to be a Hellbat Marauder push. I believe Lambo should shut this down. Obviously, Marauders can trade very, very nicely against Roaches, but the main bulk of the army is going to be Hellions and Hellbats, which struggle against a more Roach-heavy composition. So Lambo should shut this down, at least in my mind. I haven't necessarily seen a situation like this too often, where it's going to be a 2-base link Roach all-in against 3cc Marauder Hellbat. It's not a situation you see too often. But here come the Roaches, and again, Lambo, he should overwhelm. Vikings, oh, do they glimpse the army? Looks like Maru, he does not. Do we just base trade? Hellions are amassing. Here come the 3 Marauders. Lambo, he moves out. And who hits first? Who reacts to who? Hellions are spotted. Lambo, does he commit? Queens are being hunted down. And Lambo, he does commit. Okay, he races back home to them with the Lings. The Roaches, they do commit across the map. Maru, he does not turn around. Oh, we're getting crazy. he evacuates the natural. Maru does evacuate. Hellbats are morphing in. The Lings were too late. Lings, they could have dealt with this if they could have collapsed in on top of the Hellions, but they cannot deal with the Hellbats. Hellbats, they hold their own. Roach Ravager busting into the main. We're going full base trade. And again, if these armies faced head on, I believe that Lambo would have won. Like, I feel like Lambo, he would have shut this down. But we had to commit. Yeah, boys are being pulled. SCVs are going down at the same time. There's no answer here for the Hellbats. We got a couple of Roaches. No, they get surrounded. Yeah, Roaches, they get caught out. Losing 1, 2 Roaches already. And with that, Maru, he takes over the main base at the same time across the map, but there's still some mining going on. The Marauders are holding their own. Yeah, Maru defends. Maru, he defends back at him. He cleans everything up. The Hellbats, they continue. And Lambo, he cannot defend. He has been broken. As drones are finally going to be going down. Across the map, there's only one Ravager. Yep, GG gets called. The writing is on the wall, and Maru takes game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. An unfortunate turn of events there for Lambo. Again, I believe that if the armies had clashed head-on, Lambo would have had enough to deal with the forces of Lambo and shut him down. But instead, the armies miss each other, right? They miss each other. We went for the base trade. We saw that with Maru, he was able to cash the army with his reinforcements, shut Lambo down. Lambo back at home, he did not have enough Roaches. Not enough Roaches to defend. GG. GG, well played. He got shut down, and Maru takes the lead early on. Does take a lead. And again, a really chaotic game. Hopefully we can sink our teeth into game number 2, but the pressure is now on Lambo instead. Yeah, the pressure is on Lambo. It's morning in the bottom hand corner of Tourmaline. We have the German Zerg player. We have the blue Zerg representing Shopify down in the series. Can he bounce back and make a series out of this? It is Lambo. And spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Terran player. We have the red Terran representing Team Vitality. It is Maru. We go. Here we go as we're settling into game 2 here, and again, a very chaotic game number 1. It could have gone either way, to be honest. Like, again, there was a chance that, I mean, they just missed each other. They missed each other. They did not know what was going on. Ended up in a weird base trade, which Maru did come out on top in. This time, do we go for another faster factory? Do we go for another delayed CC? What's it going to be? Also, welcome to Tourmaline. Tourmaline is one of the smaller maps in the map pool, very short rush distance by ground, and also very open as well. Aggression is favored. Aggression is favored here on Tourmaline. And we'll see how aggressive our players plan on being. Show us the aggression back. For now, just standard opener. Natural's going to be on the way. Likewise, Lambo building up and joining up back at home. Just hatch gas pool, racks expand. Nothing crazy, nothing wild yet. Just settling in. From here, Maru does move out. Last game, Maru, he was able to force some inefficiencies here, forcing a Spore, forcing an Evo Chamber. We'll see if he can kill a drone. Reaper provokes in. Oh, gets around. Oh my god, very clean defense out of Lambo. Ay, ay, ay. Pappy, calm down. Again, one of the drones got low, lured him in, got us around, and a very clean defense. And do you see what I see? Once again, I see a forward expansion. Oh boy. So a couple things going on here. First things first, Maru does go for a third CC before Starport. So we have an economic build here by Maru. Meanwhile, Lambo with that forward base, just like last time, I'm thinking roaches. You do not expand forward like this unless you plan on going for a roach all in. It's not like a 100% rule, but you know, more often than not. That's why we had assumed that it was going to be roaches last game, and we were able to call that correctly. But we'll see that happens here. Oh, 2 SCVs. Oh god, oh my god. This is a very shaky stuff for Maru. Maru losing his Reaper, losing 2 SCVs. He has no scouting information, does not see where the third base has been taken. Maru's playing blind. And you can see Lambo pulls back in. Yeah, he pulls back into gas. I was going to say very fast second gas, guys, but regardless, pulls back into his gases. We'll see what that's going to be spent on. Saturating on 2 bases. Overlord from Lambo does confirm the faster third CC. And he confirms the 1-1-1 into Banshee. Now, technically, this technically could be BC. There could be like a fusion core behind this. You see Lambo going further back just in case. Just to confirm the scouts. And what I will say is that going for Banshees like this and even faking Cloak is meant to be ideal against roaches. As YOLO goes down, of course, this is a fake out. There we go, it does cancel the upgrade. So this is not a big commitment into Banshees. But it may just scare off Roachblade instead. And if it was going to be roaches, we would have seen the Warren by now, right? We would have already seen it. It's going to be a 4:30 lair timing. It's going to be a 4:30 lair. Gases are being taken, getting a second gas in the main, getting another gas here at the natural. This is looking like Spire. We're not rushing into mutas, but by now we would have seen like a Bailey Nest or Evo Chambers. The fact that there's still no tech, it feels like either Spire play, or we could see Lambo go into what's been happening in the Korean scene recently, which is which is Fast Hydra. Alright, throws him down. So double Evo Chamber, Bailey Nest as well. Later tech structures here for Lambo. So it looks like just Ling Bane. I feel like we would be delaying this a little bit further if the plan was to go into mutas. So taking more gases. So now we have, yep, our 1-1 upgrades on the way. Eventually bailing speed. No Spire, no mutas. Getting into Ling Bane. So this is a much more passive follow-up, which means Maru can just settle in, claim his own third base, and build up into the mid-game. As we have a bit of a Rax explosion here, going into 5 Raxes so far. We'll keep an eye on the gases at the third. We'll see if Maru commits. As it's going to be Ling Bane Hydra. Order Shard gets thrown down. Clearing up some creep. And we have the answer at 4th CC. So we're macroing. We're macroing up. We're building up in towards a longer and later game. As we reach the 7-minute mark, we could see Maru push, but the upgrades are still a ways away here. We'll see. Oh, he went for... Sorry, I missed that. He went for the Raven. Okay. Maru. Did go for the Raven after the first Banshee. Let's go. With that, he can deny some of the creep. He can have a greater presence. Be a little bit more efficient. Save on those mules or save on those scans. But outside of this Hellion presence, he's just building up, right? He's just building up back at home. We're not hitting any kind of 7-minute timing. We have 1-1 finishing up, but the army's not really there to push, so we're just turtling up. It's a really passive game here for Maru. And Lambo can take advantage. Lambo, he's on 83 workers. He's getting a hive. He can now start to max out. The creep is still struggling here for Lambo. But outside of that, looking relatively comfortable. Fourth race is being taken. 5th CC is on the way. And this is where the size of the map comes into play. This is where we have both bases in frame of each other, right? Like we're touching tips, pappy. Yeah. Again, just showing up how small the map is. From here, from this forward 4th base, then Maru can start to actually lay siege and push towards the center expansion of Lambo. You can start to set up. Again, it's going to be a bit of a slower assault. Crucial that Maru's on top of this creep. He's on top of it. Big Lingbane Hydra run by here on the right hand side. Oh, catching the queens. Oh, they're out of position. Yeah, that position 1, 2, 3 queens go down. Massive pickups. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Lambo caught with his pants down. Down to 5 queens. Essentially just 1 to spread creep, if that. They're all injecting. And now there are no active tumors here. As Lambo is not replenishing those queens, bear that in mind. Hive is done. We're not going into ultras yet. Technically, there's still the option for Lambo to go into either lurker tech or ultra tech. It's just been very standard to go ultras from here. It's been very meta. Meanwhile, Maru's just turtling up. It's turtling on up. Lambo collapsing in. Armor shred on some of the Wing Bane. Decent blinding cloud. The 4th base is going to be denied. Sorry, the 5th base even. And he's going to keep going. He's getting some more tanks. Yeah, 1, 2, 3 tanks almost going down. Decent trade here from Lambo. Ideally, he backs off and he does that again. Just got to back off and once again knock down the 5th. He cannot allow Maru to just freely get up and running when it comes to the 5th base. I'd say the same about the 4th, to be honest. And we have the answer. Ooh, lurkers. Okay. Lurkers, they have less dive potential. They're really good at harassing and being like the backbone of the army. But pushing into siege lines, it's difficult to achieve here with lurkers. Oh, shred. Jesus. Massive armor missile goes up. Collapsing on the Ling Bane. And I see MP on the Vipers as well. As Ling Bane cannot engage. Oof. Yeah, rough engagement here from Lambo. He has to back off, bleeding out a lot of Ling Bane. Pulls away. 5th base is getting up and running. Now it's a planetary. And that was a better fight for the Terran. Oh, we got a ring of sensor towers all over the place. Now the Venn diagrams. Throwing down all the towers, all the turrets, all the SimCity. Again, Maru's doing what he does best, which is just fully turtle up. Again, like he is the best in the world at this. Better than Clem, better than all the other Terrans. At just turtling up as hard as possible. This is what he's known for. What he's infamous for, even. As Vipers, they move in, they get a blinding cloud, they catch one tank, getting a second. And can he break down the planetary? Looks like he can. Yeah, planetary will fall, massive pickup, that's all the Lambo needed. Oh, nice main connection as well. Very nice. But at the same time, he's losing bases. Yeah, losing us bottom center and bottom right. 2 hatcheries going down. As Maru, he's retaking that expansion. Oh, he even gets a mineral line. Yeah, 10 drone kills. Lambo is spread thin. He's being spread thin, and we'll see if Maru can perfect his army. Right now he's got tank ghosts, but his liberator count is very low, so we need to build up those liberators. He's working on the widow mines as well. So Maru again, he's still perfecting his army. Spire is on the way. Lambo is getting ready for Broodlord Infestor. Starting to tech up. Lambo does rotate. It rotates down. He does run into a planetary. Decent blinding cloud. Banelings are rolling in. And they get into the mineral line. Yeah, there's no reaction to these SCVs. There's no escape. Banelings are, they're distracted. And nice split too by Maru. Yeah, oh my god, he splits very well. Cleans up the Banelings. Are losing 9 SCVs. And Maru holds. Yeah, stronger defense here from Maru. Doesn't really lose much. Even catching a Viper in the retreats. And it feels like sticking with Lingbane Hydra, it's kind of running out of steam. Lingbane Hydra, technically you can stay on this composition for a long time, but only if you're knocking down bases. If you're failing to do economic damage, if you're failing to deny expansions, then you get outscaled. That's when you have to start switching into a more lurker heavy style, into Broodlords, into something greater, into Ultras. So this is getting a little bit concerning. As Maru does get in, threatening the mineral line, at the same time another base goes down, getting expansion and getting some more drones as well. Once again, Lambo just getting pulled apart. Struggling to defend. We got more CCs on the way, more mules. Maru, bearing in mind he has a super maxed army. If you're curious what that means, as a Terran player, because of how mules work, you can get away with having a lower SCV count. So Maru intentionally has less SCVs to have a larger army instead. So he's not just maxed, super maxed. And Lambo still trying to look for a way in. We're building up more ghosts, more tanks. 6 CCs on the way. Once again, Lambo cannot let this happen. Oh no, he gets caught. Lambo, Maru, does he notice? He does. Yeah, he's got his Raven, does catch out the Infestor. No cheeky fungals. As Lambo does rotate. He doesn't really rotate which much though. There's not much Ling Bane here. And not much of an army. Again, Lambo's army's cut in half. The rest of his forces are on the top side, and he might still break down an expansion. Yeah, he's going for it. He's going for the dive. There's not much here. There's 2 tanks, a Liberator, and 2 planetaries. Or 2 Liberators even. Lambo does commit in. He should break both expansions. Yeah, getting one, getting both planetaries and the SCVs. Oh, he's racing over. Lambo does move in once again. Can he get a 3rd planetary? It's no shot. Not this time. Yeah, Maru's in position. He does defend. You can see Lambo plummet in supply. And Lambo, he does have a bank to work with, so he can rebuild and remax, but Maru's been very, very efficient here. And he's getting another base, so has plenty of mining left over. And still plenty of mining. Lambo is still committing to Ling Bane Hydra. I wouldn't be too opposed to this if at the same time he was getting like Spire upgrades, but he's not. He only has +1 for his flyer, for his flyer carapace. So he can't really make an add-on swap happen or an add-on switch happen. Add-on? A tech switch, I meant to say. And to roll in, they do catch 2 of those tanks. 2 tanks go down, 12 SCVs. Again, that did cost a lot of banelings. More on the way. Maru now going for extra factories, fusion core as well. Oh, they don't have a fusion core. Oh, it's a little bit late. But he's now switching to Mass Liberator. He's getting there. And soon Maru can start to push. Remember, Maru, he is not really attacked at all this entire game, except for drop play, right? He's been going for some drop play, he's been knocking down some expansions. But for the most part, his main army has been stuck at home. That will soon change. And it is going to be a terrifying moment. As Lambo does once again want to commit in. The Liberators are a little bit late to siege up. And once again, tanks are exposed. Takes down the first line of tanks, but it's actually one of the tanks survives. Oh god. Yeah, the tanks, they hold their ground. Nidus into the 3rd. Maru, he's aware. He does with the Nidus. Into the main base, also gets shut down. As Lambo, he might have better luck here. Yeah, Maru's out of position. This time a planetary will fall, and all the mules as well. That's a lot of mules. Gets into the mineral line, massive connections. A better rotation for Lambo, much better this time. Takes down one of the lines of tanks. Gets the CC, gets the mineral line, pulls away. Ooh, was that never mind. I was gonna say that might trigger a counterattack to break down bottom right. But Maru, he stays at home. Stays at home, remaxing. Replacing that CC. Now these are both going to be orbitals. There's no planetaries. Not anymore. These now weaker positions. Positions are weaker. Maru, he is now going for his first push. His first push, his first counter attack. Lambo is somewhat in position. Where are the Vipers? 0 Vipers. Oh, that's dangerous. 0 Vipers, 1 Infestor. Now we get the Greater Spire, but this is late. A late Greater Spire, and again, there's no air upgrades, only +1. Lambo committing in. Nice spread here for Maru. Oh my god, the mine shots! Yeah, brutal connections, and Maru, he shuts us down. He shuts us down completely, cleans up the army. You can just keep on pushing, this base will fall. A nice save with the drones. Nice save with the Nidus. Lambo, he evacuates the mineral line. And we'll see if Maru keeps pushing. Technically, all that Maru has to do is, if he can deny this expansion and take it himself, then, I mean, he's just perpetually ahead. Oh. Again, reminder, the Zerg player needs to be up an expansion against the Terran. And that's not the case. Going for the nuke! Yeah, no shot, just zoning back the army. Drones are being thrown away. Thankfully, Lambo does notice to the ghost. Does notice. There we go. Does notice. But this is very quickly getting out of hand here as Maru, well, again, once he starts pushing, he's not stopping. Takes out one base, now he's going for the other. We can see that it looks like we're trying to switch into Broodlords, but this is again so delayed and the upgrades aren't there. The snipes! Oh my god. EMP connects, snipe on the corruptors. The base goes down. And Maru, he's just snowballing out of control, just methodically taking down base after base. As he has finally perfected his army. Lambert tries to get it in. Remember, there's no fungals. Aliens, they rush forward. Tanks, they stand their ground. They shut down the Ling Bane. Ghosts are still remaining. And they just pop over their snipes. Oh my god. They snipe everything. Yeah, the snipes pop off. Not a single ghost goes down. And just like that, 2 bases are denied. Right now, there's 2 bases here that could potentially become Maru's. Yeah, desperation under Lambo, going for a Ling run by. Oh god, he's not gonna find anything, is he? I get some SCVs. It's like 11 SCVs. It's something. 12 SCVs. True. Ah, no. This is Maru's taking bottom right. Oof. Lambo's broke. Lambo is broke. He can't afford much here. So Lambo, he has the Greater Spire. He was thinking about going into Broodlords, but he can't afford it. There's not a lot of gas. There's not much gas left over. Yeah, he's only got a couple of gas gouges left. Nice catch on the tanks, okay. Does catch the tanks unsieged. Massive pickup. Yeah, Maru getting caught with his pants down. Ghosts are too far back as well. So messy engage here from Maru, but he cuts back to reinforcing tanks. Maru, he still holds. He still holds, and he still has the larger army. As we mentioned, Lambo just doesn't really have much to work with. Yep, GG gets called. He's broke at his theme, and Maru will claim the series 2-0, taking down Lambo and claiming the series, making it through to the playoffs. GG. Whew. GG, well played. Congratulations here from Maru to Maru as he does claim the series. Again, Maru taking a very, very slow, methodical approach. Again, Maru did not push until that very end. Until the very end when he was pushing bottom right. Until that moment, the entire game, Maru was just turtling. Just turtling up, except for drop play, of course. There was still drop play, there was some Reaper Hellion harass as well, there was still some harassment, but no main army pushes until the very, very end there. So again, very patient play out of Maru. That is what he is known for, that is what he is best at in the world, is just going for a slower approach, slowing the game down, turtling up, and kind of taking away the speed of his opponent, I should say. Lambo, he had some nice rotations, he had some nice moments for sure, but as we were emphasizing, as we were criticizing, Lambo, he never had a plan for a longer game. He never invested into a second Spire, he never invested into Spire upgrades, except for that 1+1 Flyer Carapace, and his Greater Spire was an afterthought. So Lambo, he was just a little bit too committed on Lingbane Hydra. Lingbane Hydra can work and can persevere throughout the course of an entire game like that, if you're knocking down bases. The moment that you realize that, hold up, this is no longer being efficient, I'm no longer stopping the economy of my opponent, you need to start thinking about that next step. Whether it's Lurkers, whether it's Ultras, whether it's Broodlord Infestor, whatever it happens to be, like, that's going to be on your mind. Otherwise, you're stuck with a mid-tier army. You're stuck with a lair tech army that does not scale well into a longer game. GG. GG, well played. With that, congratulations here to Maru, and my condolences to Lambo. But I also still want to give credit, of course, because Lambo, he did so well tonight. Even in game one, like, remember, this could have gone to the ace match. What happened in game one? It was a roach all in against Marauder Hellbat, where they missed each other. We had a weird base trade. I'm still of the opinion that if they had seen each other, if Lambo had the wherewithal to, or had the knowledge to be aware of the push, and if he had engaged with the army instead, that Lambo could have taken that. But instead, we had an awkward base trade, and Maru came out on top, took a lead, and took it from there. But for sure, I can see this going to the ace match, which is crazy. Like, again, Lambo, he's often in the shadow of these other top Zerg players, so to see him doing well here, it bodes well. Bodes well, great to see. Heading on over here to the bracket itself, to the group, you can see the matches we did cover here tonight. If you missed these matches, I do recommend the VODs. I do recommend checking out our YouTube channel, because all the VODs are available, and we had some amazing series, some amazing games. We did kick things off with Reynor versus Creator. Reynor did take the series 2-0, then had Lambo versus Maru, which went all the way to the ace match, a crazy back and forth, a crazy upset, as Lambo did claim the series. That led us into the winners match. Again, a lot of mind games in that ZVZ, and I could have seen a Lambo winning that series as well. Just a lot of mind games, a lot of shenanigans. Reynor did come out on top. And did claim that series. That led us into the elimination match, where we had a closer back and forth between Creator and Maru. It did end in a bit of an unfortunate kind of like gamble from Creator when it came to the builds of choice, when it comes to the greed, when it comes to the aggression. Maru did barely come out on top over Creator. And then we had the series between Maru and Lambo, where again, I could see this going to the ace match. I could have definitely seen Lambo winning the first game. But GG, well played. Congratulations to Reynor and Maru for advancing on into the playoffs. Congratulations. When it comes to the rest of the broadcast schedule here for us, bam, you have it here. This was LiuLi Cup Group A. You can see that we're going to be returning with Group B on a Sunday. Not tomorrow, because as you can see here, tomorrow we're going to be live casting KSL. The Korean StarCraft League is going to be on Saturday, so I will not be available. We won't have the room, the time to cover more LiuLi Cup until Sunday. So we're going to be catching up with Group B on Sunday instead. We have KSL tomorrow, we have Sea Duckling Open on Saturday, and we have Sparkling Tunic Cup on Sunday. So plenty of content, plenty of StarCraft throughout the weekend. If you're out there and if you want to support us in another way, you can do so via Patreon, !Patreon in the chat. Bam, you can see our Patreon goal just under our camera here. We currently do earn quite a bit, and we have a lot of support from Patreon, so thank you so much. All that money goes towards our tournaments. It all goes towards our Sparkling Tunic Cup, Sea Ducking Open, and Masters Swan Open. We host a lot of events on a regular basis. It's all funded via Patreon, and we can grow it via Patreon as well. We have a bunch of stretch goals. We have a bunch of again, a bunch of kind of milestones to grow the prize pool and to grow our tournaments. You can help us reach those via Patreon. So thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of our supporters on Patreon. And if you want to support us further, you can find the link in the chat. Otherwise, if you see something that you like here, and if you can't watch it live, like the Podcast or LiuLi Cup or Thunderfire or Rongi Cup or Homestory Cup, we've been casting everything as of late. It is we always cast everything. It is all over on our YouTube channel. So we do upload on a daily basis, and you can check us out over on YouTube. I'm actually going to go get some rest, get some food, and then get to editing some VODs, because we've got a lot of VODs to edit. I've got the entirety of the Homestory Cup group stage and playoffs to go through, so I gotta make some thumbnails. I gotta schedule those VODs most likely today. Most likely get around to it today to get through all that Homestory Cup. But otherwise, thanks for watching. Thanks so much for the support. We do appreciate it. We do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And again, we'll be back tomorrow at around this time for KSL, or tomorrow evening for Sea Ducking Open. If you want to tune into some of my personal content, I might stream some ladder later. It depends. Like, I'm pretty tired, so it depends when I wake up. But I might stream on my personal channel, !light in the chat. We do something a little bit different here compared to other channels, like, I don't know, like Steadfast or Pig or something, or Rotterdam, where they have their own personal channels, so they do everything on the same channel. For us here, the CranKy Ducklings, we do leave that exclusively for casting and for like team content, so podcasts, talk shows, team games, like community events, casting. Like we try to leave that exclusive to the CranKy Ducklings. When it comes to ladder sessions and playing other games, we leave that to our personal channels. So if you want, you can follow me on !light_VIP. I don't have a lot of time. I don't stream very often. I stream like maybe like once every 2 weeks sort of thing. Like I don't have too much time to stream because we're casting so much, but I'm trying to make a better effort to stream a little bit more. It's just hard to find the time to do so, but we're trying to find the time. So if you're interested, find me there. The smoge is real and I'm very rusty. Like, I haven't properly laddered since last year. Like, so my ladder is very, very rusty. Giga rusty. The wall of red is real, but we'll get back up there. We'll find the time to ladder. But otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Stick around. We're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live at the moment? I see Reynor's playing League of Legends. Of course he is. God damn it, Reynor. God damn it. Who else is live? I see Dave is live. Dave. We'll find someone else. Oh, we see Florencio is live as well. Florencio. Ay. But give him some love, give him some support, and we'll see you guys next time. Until then, ciao, bye, ciao. See you next time. Hasta luego.